everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Romper Crew. And Emerald Master already muted himself. Wow.
Hey, do you want me to interrupt your introduction with my inane bullshit?
Nah, it's fine. But welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of the Romper Crew. Today's episode, we're talking about Psychonauts, as we stated in the last episode of the Romper Crew. Now, before I start with anything, you might be wondering, hey, where's the amazing background? Well,
Merciful heavens, have mercy on your souls.
thank you to our good friend EmeraldMasterPixed over here for drawing this beautiful work of art.
I love it!
I know some of the text on, specifically at the bottom of the screen, is kind of covered by the white, but it's okay for the most part. The only part that's kind of hard to read is crew, and then my links where it says
YouTube and Twitter words, which who cares?
But yeah, and then for people not watching, it's like whatever. It won't mean anything to you. So it's me, Yogamoanyo, also known as Clutchy. I feel like I have to preface that every time because that's what M is used to calling me.
With his Twitter logo on screen looking like a wolf busted a nut.
It's something new every time. So those are my social links. YouTube is Yogamoanyo. My Twitter handle is also Yogamoanyo. Introduce yourself.
Totally not affiliated with Rise Up Gamers.
Definitely not. I can't say that, unfortunately. Alright, Em, it's your turn.
I paid him off.
Introduce yourself.
I am EmeraldMasterPixed, the one that didn't pay off Yogamoanyo with a pizza. But I'm not ashamed of it. To the mailman.
And speaking of the mailman,
But Mayo Doctor here. I don't have a fancy intro for you. Just check me out if you want to, and if not, all Mayo milk. Look, that background is amazing.
now we don't have a card for it, but check out Yogai Doctor, me and Mayo Doctor's co-op channel. Gotta get that plug in every time, boys.
Don't tell me I will make the card for it.
I mean, if you want,
And
you
his
could.
Twitter looks like a blue jay that's constipated.
Oh
Just
my God.
realized.
So yeah, today we're going to be playing Psychonauts. I need to move my notes a little bit more to the right. There we go. Alright, so let's get started. So yeah, this is going to be a little interesting because two of us never played this game before, and one of us has. So, yeah.
The one is me, by the way. I played it.
And Emerald Master is the only person who didn't try to go for 100%.
I typically will not be aiming for that unless I really enjoy the game.
Yeah,
I mean?
and
I like
fair.
obsessively enjoy it.
And that's fair. And Mayo tried to go for 100%, but he failed. So
I missed a side card somewhere. I don't even know where it was.
So yeah, he technically 100% the game though, and then I'm the only one who truly 100% of the game. So that's all fun and games. So I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna skip the first cutscene just because it's extremely long, and by extremely long I mean it's like 6-7 minutes. It's a good cutscene, but we're gonna be talking over it anyway. So
Well, you might want to avoid cutscenes.
you know what? Actually, I'll let it play so we can talk about a few things. I feel like I'm gonna get really distracted though, but we'll
I
see.
just want to say real quick.
Coach Oleander!
We'll see how it goes. So let's start out how we started out the last part, or last episode rather. So let's go around with our histories of Psychonauts. I'm actually very curious to know everyone's history because mine is kind of sad in retrospect.
Did I start? Because I'm the only one that actually has a genuine history.
Yes, I was gonna start with Mayo, so I want to know Mayo's history because he's the
Okay,
guy.
so basically, I ended up just buying the game on PS4 one day because I'd heard enough good things about it. It's like fine, good fight. Ended up absolutely loving it, but I didn't finish it for a reason that I'm sure Yogi's gonna absolutely laugh at. My game crashed and I lost my save.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
That's what happened.
No wonder you didn't know the last level when I mentioned it.
Yeah, and it was the crash was on the boss against that tank just before Meat Circus too.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's unfortunately.
Yeah. That was why I never finished it.
Oh, wow, that's the truth. Well, you basically finished it. Though, you know, I'll have things to say once we get to that part. Let's just say that.
Which I brought that up because I was talking with him yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple days ago, and I said, hey, my game crashed, and 30 minutes later, it crashed again.
Yep.
Thankfully, I didn't lose my saves this time. But...
You're not a Psychonaut.
So is that your most of your history, you'd say, for the most part, I guess?
Yeah, I heard about it and decided to play because I saw it for cheap. Never regret my decision.
I feel like mine's gonna be the saddest, so I'm gonna leave it for last. So, Em, what's your history with Psychonauts?
The only history that I really have about it is I remember seeing it every time that we would go to the store, and whenever it was around that time, these kinds of games were still
Oh my
a thing.
god, you and me have the exact same story.
Oh god. It's just, it didn't interest me though. Plain and simple.
And I assume that's your history.
Just, yeah.
So played it before,
so yeah, that's my exact history too. So I used to go to the Blockbuster all the time because it used to be literally like down the street from us, right? And I used to rent games all the time. I always saw Psychonauts on the PS2 game, but there was something about it that I was just like, I don't want to play this game, but I kind of do, but I don't.
And before you knew it, it was too late.
Yeah, and then of course years later it becomes a cult classic and people like it a lot now and all that sort of stuff.
It's just a little boy.
So yeah. Also, I just want to say this does nothing to do with my history of the game, but I call this game the game where 90% of people don't have noses.
That is a fair name.
Which is hilarious when we talk about the plot of the game, if you really think about it in retrospect.
Everybody calls me Raz.
Yeah, Raz. So yeah, sorry, it's really hard to not focus on the cutscene. It's a Tim Schafer game. It has a lot of really good writing. That's just it's what you expect.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. Exactly. So we're kind of gonna be jumping. I didn't know how to structure this as good as I could for like the presentation of the game, so I just kind of threw things out here. So I guess let's start with the. I guess I want to say kind of like the least important thing. Or some of the least important things, which is let's just talk about the graphics, because I do think it does actually have like a unique art style, you know, to it. It's definitely like a PS2 era game, like a PS2 / Xbox era game. More on the PS2 era sort of thing. When I look at it, I think of PS2, I guess.
Back then,
Xbox. It was ported to PS2 later.
I know, but it looks. To me, it has more of that PS2-y look to it. That's just me. I think for the most part, the graphics are fine. I think they do, like, everything stands out. Like, the things that need to stand out enough. When we start talking about individual levels, there's going to be a few things I'm going to point out. I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with that, at the very least, Mayo. For one level. No, not... Maybe. Yes. All of the above. Also, I just want to say this too. The subtitles that are here. Yeah, it took me until like 70% of the game to turn these on because I didn't think about it.
Yeah, I think it took me until around Milla's dance party too, so I can't fault you for that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was like kind of frustrated because some things I couldn't hear for some reason, because sometimes there's an issue with this game, that I honestly think at least, where sometimes the music gets really overbearing compared to some of the voices.
So you noticed that too?
Yeah,
I did not have that issue at all, but I'm also
it happened in the second half of the game.
Yeah, in the second half of the game, it came up like fairly often. So I'm glad I had the subtitles.
Right towards the end of it, everything came back together.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so I think the graphics are actually, for the time, they definitely stick out. You can definitely tell they're like it's a PS2 era game, which isn't a bad thing. I think the only reason why it still kind of stands out for me for the most part is because
No.
everybody, like, for characters, everybody is defined enough where you can be like, okay, that's that character, okay, that's that character, okay, that's that character. Like, I think they really worked that with the art style and the graphics very well. Like, you can tell who Oleander is, you can tell who Mia is, you can tell who Sasha 9 is.
That kid's one in a million.
Pretty obvious. Even the kids, like, I kind of, I don't really remember their names, but, like, I know the personalities of these characters because there's something about them, like a quirk about them that sticks out, or whatever. So I think it's good. I think it's fine. I think it's good as is. I think the art style is what really makes it stick out as good as it is for the most part. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, about the same. Like,
I think some levels look really good, actually. Specifically, like Meat
sure.
Circus in like Black Velvetopia and stuff like that. Hell, even I honestly even think Waterloo World looks really good. I think, if anything, my biggest gripe, and I'll talk more about this in terms of like gameplay, is the figments, but those are clear like they weren't scaled properly for HD stuff. Like HD upresing and stuff, so they're noticeably lower quality than everything else in the game.
I mean, also this game doesn't really have any major texture settings or anything. But I mean, there's not really need for it.
Yeah, this is yeah. Though I think technically this port on the PC and conversely the PS4 and stuff, I think these are all like upres versions of the game.
The PS4 is literally, it's one of those PS2 and PS4 games. It's literally just the PS2 game 4 scaled to 1080p, and that is it.
Oh. I thought it was... I know they re-released this game, like, in 2011, like, it's an actual re-release. Also,
which is the version you're playing.
Just letting everybody know, I'm probably going to be blasting through just about every level, just because I kind of want to show off as much as I possibly can, so... Just going to toss that out
there. Fair enough, besides, you probably spend a decent amount of time looking at those figments otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have anything you really want to input, I guess, on the graphics then, Em? If anything, graphics, art style, all that sort of stuff.
It's fine, but it just doesn't fit my taste. There's something about it it doesn't click right.
I guess I can kind of see that, like, honestly, it kind of looks ugly to me, but it's not unappealing. I know it's a contradiction, but...
I'm actually gonna lower the volume just a little more slightly. Oh yeah, the menu is very weird. I have to go use my mouse, and it's, as you can tell, it looks really funky.
You can actually use your controller.
Not in certain menus. It's really specific. There we go. So yeah. I mean, I can see. I think it's intended to look kind of ugly, though. Is the thing.
Oh, I know. That's why I don't really fault the game for it.
Yeah. Okay, I have to do this interaction.
I mean, whenever it comes to faulting the game, the graphical aspect is just not really what I would throw at it.
Yeah, it looks ugly. I can agree it looks like ugly, but I think that's the point. Tim Schafer,
I can't fault it though.
Yeah, Tim Schafer is kind of known for having those really weird, like, kind of obtuse, abstract, like, situations and settings and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's just kind of his style. So, it makes sense to me.
And honestly, Psychonauts with its style, the visual style, it looks like it belongs more in the form of a cartoon than it does anything else.
Oh, yes. I would absolutely watch a Psychonauts cartoon.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that and the writing, and again, but that's just a product of Tim Schafer's writing, so... Oh, yeah. I think that's why it like yeah, if this was a cartoon, it would definitely work. 100%.
You'd probably see it on Adult Swim instead of...
Oh, for sure. This game is rated T.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this game is rated T. It's
for a reason too.
Yeah, it is a Tim Schafer like game. It's got the like crude, interesting, weird humor that is definitely not suited for like children. So.
I just love the idea of, catching birds on fire with my brain, and then when it dies, just, abruptly saying, "See you in hell."
Yep.
I love that.
That's Raz. And speaking of which, Raz, also known as Invader Zim, same voice actor. He's not actually Invader
Also known as what's his name?
Billy
Spike.
and Billy from Billy and Mandy.
Because of that, Raz's voice was almost ruined for me.
It wasn't ruined, but I couldn't shake
Ruined
off
for
Zim. For me,
It's not that the voice is terrible. That ain't it. It's
his voice is
it's
great.
the impression it leaves.
Yeah, I think his voice is great.
So, I mean, it definitely is. It's just if you've got a certain impression of a character that uses a very similar voice, it almost feels cookie cutter. Almost, but
at the same time, like, how do you go about fixing that? Have
I'm
person
not-
do a
I'm
single
not
roll
saying
for
for him
anything
to-
ever?
I'm not saying for him to go in and get surgery on his vocal cords.
Clearly,
I
he
want
needs
that.
surgery on his vocal cords so he can never talk. Every time he gets a new role, that way their voices are always different.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about, Mel Blake here, okay? The man of 1,000 voices.
Yep.
Which, let's be honest, would be rather insane to think about in a game.
Well, I guess that's all we can really say about the graphics. It's mostly an artistic choice more than anything. Of course, it has, like, the PS2-esque graphics. I think for the time it passes, but it's definitely aged, and I think the art style only holds it up to an extent. So...
Wait, ain't the sequel using the same exact style? Just high resolution?
Yeah, pretty much. So let's talk about what we probably should have went over this first, but I feel like this is kind of weird to talk about first. I think that this is the also this is foreshadowing. I never knew that this was foreshadowing until just this very moment.
I didn't actually catch that first time either. Wow. Okay.
Didn't catch it. I really didn't catch it.
Yeah, neither did I. I actually completely.
No,
didn't know
I mean, as in, oh wow, I see it now.
Well, he said no. The kid said this looks like a dentist's office. When we're talking about the plot, that the dentist.
Well, I mean, I looked at the poster in the background.
Oh.
Wait, what's the poster say? I didn't even see that.
Well, seems like it said I'll kill you or something like that.
We'll check it in a second. So
that could just be war propaganda.
So I think no, it says I want you. It is. It's Uncle Sam. It's Uncle Coach, whatever his name. I can't pronounce it.
Leander?
Leander? Yeah, I couldn't think about it. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong guy. So let's talk about So I thought this was actually lower than graphics, but again, I didn't really know where to put these in like the right spot. Let's talk about the music. What do you guys think about the music?
There's a few standouts, but most of them really I don't care that much for.
Yeah, I'm the same boat. There's some songs that are like, oh, that's pretty cool, but for the most part, it just kind of is there for me.
Same with me.
not
Just
bad.
the entire soundtrack, all except for one track.
Which track stood out for you? Or did you hate it?
Of all things, of all tracks, of all stages in its tracks, it was the one involving the milkman.
Yes.
I swear to God, I'm not even joking when I say this too. It has a Gex 3 vibe to me.
Speaking of Gex, the 100% this game, if we're talking about music and sound, 100% this game has sounds that Gex has. I swear to God, I couldn't unhear it.
I wouldn't know. I never played.
I don't understand exactly what you're saying in
There are
full.
some sound effects in this game that I swear are in like Gex 2 and Gex 3. Maybe they aren't the same thing, but they sure as hell sound very similar. This is just a basic level, of course, a training level. It is called basic braining after all.
Of course.
Nice wordplay.
So yeah, I think we
Got
can
more
all
like nice brain play.
So I guess we can also add, what's it called? Oh, I should have showed the cutscene. Sorry, I'm so used to skipping it at this point. we should talk, I guess, about the sound design or some sound design sort of things, I guess, that happen too. I don't know if there's really anything too stand out that I can think of offhand, though.
It works.
Yeah, like
it's fine.
It's not bad. It's definitely good. I think it works as is. Unfortunately, I think the unfortunate thing for me personally is so I love Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango's another Tim Schafer game, and that soundtrack is like really, really good. I didn't come in this game expecting it to have, like, I don't think immediately, it's going to hopefully have an amazing soundtrack. I was actually just, whenever I go to a Tim Schafer game, the first thing I think about is the writing and stuff like that, so glad that didn't disappoint or anything too, which is great. But yeah, no, like, I think everything works as is. The soundtrack to me, like you guys said, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not
Why
impressive.
does this kid look like a giant Cheeto clump?
Because his hair is fabulous.
You call that fabulous? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Okay.
telling me
you wouldn't
Okay.
get that kind of hair?
Yeah, you telling me that hair ain't fabulous?
I would not. I would not. I would not.
I think it's beautiful.
I mean, you think the trash art that I made is beautiful?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, man. Come on, don't judge.
And there's Bobby Zilch doing his thing, in which Raz steals later on.
Well, actually, I was
I love that so much. He even uses it
Oh
as
wow,
a
he does steal it.
Yeah, he does.
It's been appearing in this creepy nightmare I keep having.
You're having nightmares?
Foreshadowing.
I've been reading about how to
Ooh.
fix those.
But you
Will
wouldn't
you let
know.
me see one?
So I guess next. So this is actually where things start getting, I guess I would say, a bit more important, at least to me. So let's talk about the controls. This is an action, adventure, platforming, semi-collect-a-thon game. It's not really too much like pure collect-a-thon, but it kind of has like those vibes.
Which is fine.
If you ever feel like it's not a collectathon, one word, pigments. That's all I have to say.
It's true. So what do you guys think about the controls before we move on to gameplay? Because we're gonna have to move on to gameplay afterwards. We can
They're
kind of.
stiff, but they're fine.
So I don't
You
think
can
they're
get used to it quick
enough.
stiff. I think they like so movement. So like I'm kind of moving in circles. Like I feel like this feels fine, but the double jump I really had to get used to. It's not that it's bad. It's just not a double jump I'm really used to.
It's
I think,
muddy, I guess.
I guess. I think when you get onto what's it called? When you get levitation, I feel like things feel much better. But that's also because
Monkey
your
ball.
jumping is substantially better. Ooh, monkey ball. That's come back full circle, Mayo.
Oh no. How long do we have until somebody picks Super Monkey Ball?
Oh Jesus, that'd be rough. Yeah, I think the controls are fine. Like I think they're. It's hard. I'm really mixed on them because I want to say that they're not that great, but I equally want to say they're totally fine. It's kind of. I guess it's kind of middle ground for me. I can't really say that it's the greatest thing or like the worst thing or the best thing. You know, it's just kind of a thing. I guess it works. It's okay for the most part. See, it's really hard. Like, I'm struggling, because it's like, I want to say that it has a lot of issues, but at the same time,
There's
it's like...
clearly an issue that you cannot figure out how to describe.
I
right?
guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it feels...
Like, the only issue I have is the slowness that I mentioned before, the stiffness.
Yeah,
If you don't know what I'm talking about there, try punching.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean there, yeah. I mean, and speaking of which, I mean, that's not even that good, like, the punching and
Really?
the combat and stuff.
Punching? I mean, the punching was satisfying, if you ask me.
You didn't go
That-
100%.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
You-
Yogi?
Yeah, you didn't go 100%, so things can get very iffy.
I love punching,
well.
right?
Punching game.
I just said that punching was satisfying. That's it. But my
Oh, that's
gripe.
a trophy name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. My gripe is with grind rails.
Yes, okay. Oh my god.
What the hell was going on?
Sometimes you can't jump off, right? And sometimes you can.
Yes.
It's I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Is that a PC issue? I never had that.
Okay.
Like
Okay, so you'll understand me on this one, Mayo. You know the stupid figment on the Tunnel of Love in Meat Circus that's off the rail?
Yeah.
It took me a solid like 10 or so minutes just to get it.
No, I got that on first try.
Because
I didn't even die.
first of all, my momentum kept screwing up, and second of all, it absolutely refused to let me jump off.
What's they keep blowing up?
I have no idea what you're talking about. It works great for me.
Also, in typical video game destroyer fashion, grind rails also kept throwing me into walls and into the ground for some reason.
Well, I came across my first issue with the controls in this literal area. I'm not joking.
I can't do it.
That damn flagpole.
Just follow me.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not joking. I actually had to backtrack
This isn't.
because I didn't know what to do.
This isn't.
I actually had to pull a video up just to make sure I wasn't doing anything bad. The flagpole was wonky as all hell for me.
I can't do it.
It was so
Just follow
messed up
Okay.
for me that, wow.
Yeah, I guess my
What
best
it was.
description is it feels smooth sometimes, and other times it doesn't feel
You
smooth
are
at
both
all.
bringing up all these issues that I just never had. It's really
Well,
weird.
maybe if we're lucky, Clutch, you'll actually be able to show them.
One issue.
Oh wow! Of course not.
One issue I have is like sometimes when it comes to getting on like poles and like climbable stuff or swing like stuff you can swing from, sometimes it's because it's so precise that you have to like hit you have to hit the ropes and stuff on the dot.
No one told me to shoot.
Sorry, I just got distracted by that again. But yeah, sometimes like you have to be so precise that it's so hard to jump onto certain ropes in certain things. That was also an issue for me. Also, the audio just got really loud for half a second. That's pretty normal. Hey, it's Mayo's favorite thing.
Hey, look!
What, a snowman?
Oh no!
Yeah! Maybe you'll be able to beat
Oh,
this
boy.
darn game. We can't do
I
it.
must have completely missed it, but okay.
And the coach won't open
What,
The next
you're-
pole.
No, it's
that
your
you-
favorite thing. It's the punching game.
Hey, Raz!
Oh,
Punch that
I was only half looking at the screen.
I hope you backtracked to this when you were 100% in the game, because this is a missable thing.
I did.
Okay.
I think I got this around the time I went to Waterloo. So
You score enough points on this course, kid.
So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's controls for us then, because I don't.
Well,
I-
there's
I
one
don't
more
know what to
thing.
say. Oh yeah.
Did you ever go to the very tip top of a pole at any point?
Yes.
Like, all the way to the tip top? Because I would clip into the pole at that point.
Oh, sometimes that would happen. Anyway.
Alright. Okay, a bit of collision detection problem.
Shut up!
Well then.
God.
Good job, soldier.
That's a little gripe I have with some things in the game. Sometimes audio files play a little bit too much. Looking at
Thank
you!
you for most of it, but
I'm not gonna talk. I'm not talking about until I get to the stage. You know what stage I'm talking about.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Almost guaranteed.
Because I just played it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. This gets more meaty. as time goes on.
It does actually. So let's move on to I guess general gameplay. So yeah, it is a collect-a-thon. It is a platform action adventure platformer.
You enjoy
I'm gonna just kind of skip on those two because they're just little plot things that show kind of backstory stuff.
God, I forgot how terrifying the arrowheads look.
They are arrowheads. But
I've seen a real arrowhead in real life. They're not even remotely terrifying.
oh, okay. So yeah, but anyways, adventure action game. Here, I'll show off this little cutscene. Watching the emotional baggage be happy.
I love it so much. And that little jingle, that's actually one of the few tracks I was thinking of. Like, I love this little jingle.
It is pretty good. I skipped it after a while though, just because I wanted to kind of get a move on with things.
I never skipped it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I loved it too much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So
felt generic to me, but hey, no complaints though.
What's a bit generic to you?
The jingle.
Gotcha.
The jingle as a whole, oddly enough.
It's cute.
I mean, I didn't say it wasn't.
I think it's adorable.
It is, but it still has that generic feel to me. Okay.
Fair enough. So, anyways, yeah, action adventure platformer, semi collect-a-thon game. How do you guys think it does its job?
Pretty well, especially for the time that it came out.
So, oh boy. So I'm like, I'm really hit or miss on it. Like, okay, so it feels good sometimes. Like some stages, I think it feels great. In other stages, I think it doesn't. Funny enough,
it falls flat.
Funny enough, yeah, and funny enough, one of my like more enjoyed stages personally is like one of the least platformy. So it's not like of course it's not devoid of platforming. Every stage does have like platforming and stuff like that. That's the name of the game. But some have much less than others.
Like Super Mario 64, there isn't an abundance of textures, and even if there were, this game would make sense of it.
Yeah, there's not textures in random locations that we're confused about. I'm not going to skip any of the emotional baggage just for Mayo.
Damn, that enough textures?
It's so beautiful. It's a story of love, man. You can't skip it.
The emotional baggage, it's so dopey, but you love it.
Speaking of kind of late speaking on controls, but sometimes these pulls were really weird. Like the pulls you have to spin off.
Yeah, that one I'll give you. The pulls had
I really didn't have issue with them, oddly enough, unless you're talking about spinning overhead instead of under.
Kind of, but this... I'm going to skip the mental cobweb thing. We can't grab those for a while. I don't even know if I'll be able to while we're playing here. This section right here took me a really long time. And that's why I'm like kind of iffy with the controls, because it's super bizarre, and again, it's really precise on what you're supposed to do. Like, for example, right here, you can jump over to the rope, but you have to be precise and make sure you land on it. You're supposed to swing. But this one over here, you're supposed to jump to it, but just a single jump, because if you double jump, you might be not precise enough, and you might miss the tightrope. So I literally fell down this section like 10 times because I was just struggling really hard.
I just double jumped every time.
I couldn't grab onto the stupid things half the time. It's so on and off. But yeah, sorry, detracting a little bit. Gameplay, it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it does its job for the most part fine. But again, I do think it is very like hit or miss for me personally. Like sometimes I do think it really does work like very well, and other times it's not. But also the game kind of, I wouldn't say has an identity crisis. I don't know if that's the right word, but sometimes it like you know, every stage kind of has like its own little gimmicks and stuff like that, which I'm fine with. But sometimes I feel like it kind of sacrifices what I thought was the core parts of the game with the platforming, and it just feels feels really weird to me, I guess is the best description I can have. It's really hard sometimes to describe how I feel certain ways about this game sometimes.
Oh, if you're talking about some form of confusion too, which I did have in the same stage involving the milkman, I legitimately had confusion. I didn't know what to do in some places.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get in depth with stages, because this game has one hell of a fucking spike in terms of difficulty.
Which comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, and there you go. Ras just stole it. He stole the little victory jingle.
And now it's going to be his for the rest of the game.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't really think there's much else we can talk about in terms of like gameplay and stuff. It works as it is, but sometimes it's just a little iffy. I think, well, it'll come more apparent when we're talking individual stages, because there's, again, a lot of gimmicky things, and like every stage kind of has its own gimmick and stuff like that. So, some have like a core platforming idea with like a kind of semi gimmick, and some levels are just like pure gimmick all the way around.
Is it me, or does this game seem like it has a horror aspect on the more disgusting vibe?
Yeah,
area?
it's got that. I think that was kind of the point, though. It's not like a horror thing,
but it's more on to repulse, obviously.
Yeah, that goes back to the whole graphic aesthetic thing we're talking about, where it's ugly but still appealing.
Yeah,
I mean, it goes a little bit beyond whenever you reach the end of the game. I mean, because but I'll keep my mouth shut on that for a while.
Yeah, I do have some specific notes for that. But yeah, so let's move on to what I think is probably the most important thing outside of individual level talk, and that's mixing these both together because I think they kind of go hand in hand. Story and characters, because the reason why I say
this game is important.
Yeah, because I say they go kind of hand in hand because I feel like the story is much of a lesser thing, and it's more about the writing and the characters as opposed to the actual like story itself. The story itself, I think, is fine. It works as is. It's simple. It's like a Saturday morning, like demented Adult Swim cartoon. Is the best description I have for the story.
Yeah, that's a fair description.
An Adult Swim Saturday morning cartoon. That is one hell of a twist I never would have imagined.
Well, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, but it's like with an Adult Swim twist. Yeah. So that, and I think it works as is. I think I noticed, and this could be just a product of PS2 era stuff, like limitations and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think this game has some slight pacing issues to an extent. Like, it starts out fine, and then everything just kind of happens.
Yeah. Like, once you finish the dance party stage, everything just changes suddenly.
Yeah, like for example, when we talk about characters, there's a subplot with, I guess a subplot with Raz and Lily have liking each other. But I know it's like they're kids.
Abruptly interrupted.
They're kids and stuff like that, right? And I understand you can get like crushes immediately and stuff like that, but it all happens so fast
that it hurts.
That it's just like, where was the build-up? Where was anything? Like there was barely there was 2 interactions with Lily before she's like, "Shut up, let's make out," and I'm like, "Okay."
Whoa.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay.
At the same time, though, do we really want it to go full romance here?
No, but I mean, I guess the thing is, I that just goes with the whole, things just kind of happen. Like, it starts out really smooth, and it's all smooth, and then, the halfway point, everything just kind of happens at once. And you're just like, oh, okay. Because I think that's the issue. I think it's kind of to me, I think it has an issue where there's a beginning which works, and there's an end which works, but there's a middle portion that I feel is kind of missing.
Something was shoehorned in and pushed out.
If I'm not mistaken, this game was kind of rushed.
Only a little.
I said
got hardcore rush.
I said kind of rushed because I'm not 100% certain.
This game got about half the development time it needed.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Really?
It hurt for it too. You can see it in some spots. All the saves you have to make so that you don't lock yourself out of 100%.
You can see it in some places, like the fucking meat circus. But we'll get there eventually.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
I guess that would make sense. That's why it feels I think there's it feels kind of like a middle part is missing. Because it all just kind of, the only middle part that I would say kind of exists is Lungfishopolis stuff. But at that point, that's literally just one level, and then everything is just thrown at you immediately.
No, I don't want to lose this button.
And even then,
is it me, or did that feel...
have any difficulty.
You know, a nutcracker might be faster. Tonight, when this baby is full of fine ladies,
yeah.
I'm going to see everything.
I should have did this interaction before the first stage. I completely forgot.
No, dude.
But whatever.
The girl's cabin.
He spies on the girl's
I've got a man on
cabin.
the inside.
You have to talk to everyone at all times. It's important for this game.
Yeah, I won't really do it here except for really
Yeah,
stand out stuff. But oh wow, we're talking about clairvoyance, and that is one of the last things you get.
And all I see was something about grabbing a squirrel's nuts. I mean,
attention in class, but not that much. What you need is an expert in clairvoyance.
But yeah, no. So about the story and characters, like I think the story's fine. It is. I think it's kind of got a pacing issue where I feel like the middle part kind of doesn't exist. But other than that, the story and the characters in the writing is what really like makes up for all those little faults, I would say, because the writing and characters are great, and I think the writing will be getting more in depth for individual stages, because that's where it really stands out. And also, I do have the campgrounds as a whole as like a little section that we'll be talking about, because I think it is worth talking about the campgrounds in and of itself. But I do think, kind of like what I was saying with graphic, or like, you know, the graphics gameplay or whatever one it was. I think it was graphics where every character stands out. That also goes with their personality. It really like all blends together, and it just works really well.
Yeah, like, most of the characters are pretty one note, but I don't really consider that a problem for a game like this.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, there's some characters, like for example, these characters I barely remember, but they don't really say anything that's too interesting. They're just best friends.
they're like stock characters.
Kind of. There's a very select few that are like
Filler, that's what it is.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
But there are like at least half of the kid cast stands out, I would say, at minimum. And then like every other character, I think for the most part, except maybe Gloria, stands out. But I think
that's fair.
But I think everybody else, for the most part, stands out.
Yeah, these two do look like they're late PS1 quality.
I think that's just
Or
our
is it
style
just me?
choice.
Yeah, but doesn't it seem like with how they feel not abruptly, but abnormally low quality compared to everyone else?
I think that's just a product of upscaling the graphics to try to fit on a modern consoles and stuff.
No, maybe it's just me. It just also feels like quite a few polys were missed.
Nah, I don't really see it
maybe it's just
personally.
me.
So where do I...
Yeah, I'm not going to focus on that scavenger hunt at all.
There's no way you're gonna finish it in time anyway.
Yeah. No, definitely not. I need to get to like the last part of the game. Cannot look for other bear.
New boy.
Yeah, speaking of which, you should probably start rushing through some of this stuff.
I know. I just want to talk to Bear.
Oh, I understand. Like when you're talking about the kids that are memorable, Russian Kid Obsessed Affair is #1. Like, can we agree on that?
Yeah, there's also a point where he's literally killing one of the bullies. It's great.
Oh yeah, I missed that the
Wait,
first time.
what?
I only saw it because I loaded a save for one of the trophies, and I saw it then.
If I'm able to show it off, I'll show it
Yeah,
off.
it's after the dance party level.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I again, a lot of, there's literally this character right here is the only non-standout one, because she literally, you can't talk to her. You only talk to her once. Other than that, you get to watch her make out with somebody. It's her character.
Oh, I thought you...
Oh yeah, well she's invisible.
You know,
all the time.
quote unquote character development.
That's not making the reception any better.
And then of course here's our little hub shop thingy-majigger.
Excuse me.
If you got a little shop here, which speaking of which, you're gonna need to start farming up your arrowheads.
Yeah, I know. I
You need the
Dowser.
Cob Duster in order to get past Milkman.
Yep. I also need the Dowser too. So.
Yeah, if you want to farm them.
I want to get the Bowser first, though. What do you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
always get you kind of need the Dowser first. I think it's like 50.
It's 50.
250.
Yeah. No, 250 I think is the Cobweb Duster. I hate that's kind of
Oh, wow,
arbitrarily
50.
locked, but
It's 800 for the Duster. I remember that because it was something really high.
No, it's really easy to get though. Is the thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like once you hit the Duster, like there's some that are over 100 that you can get underground.
Yeah, and I also do like to get the what's it called, the magnet, because that's just nice to have,
Oh,
especially
sure, absolutely.
especially in other
It attacks arrowheads too, and the health and everything.
Yep.
It's not
And
just
what is
pigments.
Sorry. What is it with the actual tables here, the picnic tables, having, grind rail physics?
I don't know.
I was wondering that
It
earlier
bugs
with
the
the
shit out of
roots.
me.
'Cause in the kids area, there was the roots you could grind on.
I don't know.
I mean, the roots make a lot more sense, but not tables.
Tables don't bother me at all, surprisingly enough.
I'm gonna go to what's it called? Oh, these I love these guys too. I didn't mean to go to these guys, but
Hey,
love them.
Raz, you're awesome.
Kind of funny, because last time we saw them, you were complaining about them.
Yeah.
I was.
Or even that
Well,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because their voice clip wouldn't shut up.
but soon.
But it was just that one moment thing. But I love how they're like, "Aw, look they're so nice." Meanwhile, they're concocting some poison. Just don't want to worry about it.
Something
Welcome to
totally
Psychonauts,
normal.
everybody.
Yep, pretty much.
And I like how one of them has got the head of what looks like a turkey leg drumstick, and the other one like a cut cantaloupe melon.
Oh no.
I actually got to see the turkey leg.
Interesting. I'm gonna go.
Or it looks like the top of Master Roshi's staff.
Ooh. I never thought of that. I'm gonna go and visit my good friend,
Would you like to go back?
Agent
Down to the Bat
Crawler.
Let's go to Ford's. I mean, my sanctuary. Yes,
Um,
Noblesse.
Oh,
God, Crawler's a good character. All the characters are really good except for like a very select few. I can't complain about any of them. They're just so good. The writing in this game is great. I don't think it's as good as Grim Fandango still, but it's still really good.
I can't judge it. I've never played Grim.
You should. It's great.
It never looks that good from the outside, but that could probably be said about this game too.
It is 100,000% good strictly for the writing. It's one of those games. I think it's a good, like a pretty good point-and-click game as is, but the writing is so good, and the music's really good too. So there's always that.
I better go. Thanks.
Don't worry.
Yep, and here's Agent Crawler. I'm just kind of skipping his dialogue now, so I can get to move on with things a little bit. Don't think he says anything particularly interesting there, anyways.
Or she can hit the B or circle or whatever control you're using to immediately skip cutscenes if you really want to skip through stuff.
Oh. I did not know if those... I know it does for some things, but not other things. So I guess...
Most things, like, if subtitles show up, it'll work.
If there's any, anything else you guys want to mention strictly about the story and characters...
It's just really good!
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Pretty much. Just making sure in case there's anything else you guys wanted to say before we, moved on to individual level talk, where things start getting much spicier.
Oh yeah, that... I love how this is like one of the only games, if not the only one I can think of off the top of my head, where they actually try to justify with plot that your character can't swim.
Yeah, I know.
I actually completely blanked on that until just the end.
In every literal area that there's water, even the tiniest like bit of water for the most part,
There's a couple of cases where you can splash through on the ground, like even here in camp, like
Yeah.
in the wilderness, there's a little thing you can run through. But
were people actually complaining that you couldn't go into water?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was about to say, because people bitch and moan all the time about water levels, left and damn right.
no, I just
Can't have a water level here.
justify
Well,
it.
there kind of is a water level. I do, in my individual level notes, I do consider the lungfish boss like its own little level. So,
Which I struggled with.
So yeah, speaking of individual levels, let's start. I want to start out with
Let's start
basic.
with the hub.
I want to start it. Well, I want to start out with basic braining, just because it's tutorial level, and then the main meat of the overworld at this point comes after.
Then you go to Whispering Rock, and then Whispering Rock is the name of the forest campsite.
Yep. So
If you want to split the what's it called? The tower's asylum.
yeah, I split them apart accordingly. Don't worry about that. So yeah, let's just talk about basic braining, I guess, for an introduction level. It works fine as is. I do like that it does have like basically every single platforming trope that you're gonna kind of deal with in the game.
Oh yeah.
I do like that a lot. I think for a starting level, it's actually like pretty darn good for a training level, because it literally has just about everything that you could like ask for the most part.
Yeah, like the only things it doesn't have is the
psionic
special
power-ups
abilities you
and
get,
stuff.
but don't have those yet.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Those are literally the only thing it doesn't show, which is fine. And then they dedicate some levels strictly to that. Specifically, Sasha's shooting gallery, and then Mia's dance party. I keep saying Mila because that's just how it's spelled. It's Mia though.
I keep saying Mila too. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, those are like the only two stages where it's like, they really ham that in, because even stages where you get like clairvoyance and stuff like that, they don't force you to use it. Hell, you don't even have to use it at all, really. But
it's hilarious. You should.
Oh yeah, I love clairvoyance. It's great to see how everything perceives you. So yeah, basic braining. I did notice my first issue though in basic braining, and this is more gonna be 100% issue. And I'm just gonna say, full disclosure, I don't think this is a game that is fun to 100%. Really, I think if you're gonna play this game, play it casually, especially first time through, and then second time through, if you want to go for 100%, do it, because collecting some of the thing that I love the idea of figments, but the thing that really bugs me about the figments is they're 2D, and the moving one, they can be really precise to hit, and the 2D ones are because they're 2D, they can be very obnoxious to like collect.
Not to mention half the time you can't even see them.
Yeah, there's some that blend in extremely well, especially on certain stages that we'll probably talk about.
Oh yeah.
I think basic braining is fine for the most part, though. Like it's simple, it's to the point, it's quick, it's platforming. I think it's fine.
God, there's too many voices going on. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Are you okay?
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going crazy. I have another stream up at lower volume.
You should probably turn it off.
I know.
But one thing I actually forgot to mention earlier that in my notes, I completely glossed over this fact. Let's actually say this now, because we're going to start jumping into the whole individual level stuff. What was everybody's first impressions for the first hour? Let's start with M and me, because we haven't played this game before. This is the first time. So, who wants to go first? You want to go first, M, or should I go first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first.
So yeah, like an hour, like the first hour or 2 hours. Get general first impressions. How'd you feel?
Subtle confusion, because quest items, couldn't figure out how to access them at first. Whenever I played with the D-pad, though, whenever I messed with it just out of curiosity, oh, this is how you get a hold of them.
Peeking into a hole in the girl's
Yeah.
cabin.
I can kind of
This
see
was
that.
roughly that. Yeah, they don't tell you anything.
They do, but it's really brief, and it's kind of in an like not important part, I would think.
I think it's just in a blurb somewhere.
Yeah, it literally is like, it's right when you go to like the main cabin and stuff. Get out.
I'll take your word for it there. I mean,
I thought I was gonna have to eat my own arm.
but I mean, it was here whenever I figured out how to do it. Literally here.
I mean, you have to here.
Well, yeah.
Just gonna
It
skip
does.
the dialogue. I'm just gonna start getting a move on. See if I can try to get as many stages as I can possible.
Because I know for a fact, whenever you access your map, you do have a goal point or a marker
Yeah.
or where you go.
Unfortunately, pausing was really weird for me. So outside that initial, I guess, confusion, though, how are your, I guess, just overall general first impressions as a whole?
Agent 9? I'm here
Not
to do
terrible,
advanced training.
but could have been done a little bit better.
Understandable.
Because I think it may have been at around the 2-hour mark whenever I got into this area.
It was like
I'm not sure.
it was like
Don't quote me on that.
It was like the 3-hour mark for me.
Yeah, you see, it is a bit of a problem.
What are we gonna learn?
Well, Alex, I have a reason that makes a lot of more sense when I talk about it, and it kind of hampered my first impressions a little bit, which kind of sucks. So I guess I'll talk about mine, unless you have more to add to yourself.
Oh no, I mean that was really my only major gripe.
So I took a long time to get things going here. I was in a weird, like, mental state, realistically speaking, honestly, too. I don't know why I was feeling just kind of, like, bizarre when I was playing, but I felt it was fun for the most part. Most of my first impressions consisted of me literally going around the camp just to see what characters and stuff had to say.
Well,
I know when Mayo was wondering why the hell I was in this place for an hour when I mentioned that to you. It was because I was busy talking to, like, every single character just to see, like, every interaction I could possibly, like, churn out of them. And that's why I spent so long here.
There isn't a dialogue logbook now, is there? Because I didn't think to look for that. Because that would have helped in a way.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, that's how my first impressions really go. Like, I thought, going through basic training, I was kind of frustrated because I didn't get used to the control, or some of the controls. And like I said, there were some sections where I literally just, like, was having some weird issues with because you had to be, precisely grabbing onto the ropes and stuff like that. So I had, like, this sort of, like, iffy first impressions, especially because the controls, they're not, like, the best, but they're not, like, bad either. So I was so back and forth. I was so conflicted. I wanted to enjoy what was happening, but it was like I couldn't fully enjoy what was happening at the same exact time. So I had a really in terms of gameplay, I was very, very, very all over the place and very mixed feeling it when I first started playing. And then for the other half where I was basically just in the camp for a while, I for the most part was having a good time. I think the only thing I really wasn't having a bad time about was it felt really like the overworld is really big, so it felt really annoying going back and forth trying to just see all the cool stuff and all the nice writing and all that stuff that was going on. But it was enjoyable to see and listen and read all the writing and all that stuff because I thought it was all very humorous and enjoyable. So I enjoyed that aspect much more than than the gameplay front at first. And those were my general first impressions. And I was like, I was going to be really wary of the game at that point afterwards. I'll be completely honest. What about you, Mayo, playing it over again?
It's been too long for me to really give my original first impressions, but I remembered most of what was to expect, so I didn't really have any issues, things like transitioning controls or any of that. Just go through as normal, still liked it as much as I did before.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I also spent a lot of time talking to the kids around.
So basically you knew what you were expecting. It wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really too bad for you. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I expected, you know.
Yeah.
So I assume that's enjoyable.
Going inside the caravan.
Yeah.
What do you see
Makes sense.
inside?
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna lie, this game does establish a creepy atmosphere quite well.
Rasputin, are you
Yeah,
okay?
and I think it's pretty good
What do you
for the
see
most
now?
part. I love the little things that it can just does. Like this game and the idea and concept have so much stuff to work with, and they really did work with a lot of cool stuff. So
Oh, sure. Like, they took it to the logical extreme. Oh, you can go into people's minds? Send him to an insane asylum.
yep.
Okay, Mr. Bun. You and I are gonna be
So,
wherever you
I am the milkman.
like
My milk is delicious.
hey.
So, yeah, I guess an interesting first impression. So back to the basic braining individual level stuff. So is there anything you guys want to specifically add about basic braining?
There's one thing that I need to mention about. I know M's going to be in the dark with this. I mentioned it for a second. That stupid punching minigame.
Yeah, and this is
When
for
else am I going to bring this up?
this is for when you backtrack too, which is fine to mention it here because it is technically a part of the level. This is the only time you straight up have to backtrack, I think. So I think it is. Could be wrong there.
I think there's a few times where you need other abilities, like, namely levitation.
AKA the
Which
best.
Which
is
complex.
it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I love levitation. But yeah, pretty much.
The punching game, it's pain.
Honestly,
Like,
I didn't think it was that bad. I knew what you were talking about when you kind of briefly mentioned it. Also, there was a little instance of moving figments that I just can't. That I absolutely hate dealing with. Just felt like bringing that up because that was one of the few chances I could have said that
Sasha?
and mentioned it.
Another honey?
No. This is more of a super scary.
Yeah, I spent probably 5-6 hours, and I was on a time crunch too. You know that. I spent that much time on a stupid minigame.
What?
I can understand that for the very, very, very last one. That one's extremely strict.
And the worst part is
Really?
I didn't even beat
It's
it.
that bad?
I had to start pause scumming because I was out of time. I
That
had to beat
almost-
this thing.
That almost sounds as bad as Clutchy's experience with Ornstein and Smo the first time.
No,
That
it
almost
was
sounds as bad.
not that bad because that took me like a week.
Well, mind you, like, really crunched down, compressed, made, to be held.
You want to
in
know
half.
the paint for this game? Go play that punch and eat game. Especially the way end, because everything's there in a little circle, and if you're even slightly behind, not only does it go away, but you lose your points.
Yep. It's
Oh.
the last one is really strict, and you need that to get your Psy rank up, so that's fun. And Psy ranks are that's a thing, guys. It's actually pretty cool, and that's like the only real thing that really I just want to say, and Mayo could probably understand why I felt this way. There were many times where I was just like, I don't want to, like, what's it called? There were many times where I was like, I don't want to continue trying to 100% this game.
Absolutely not. I kept going even without it. I love it.
But I kept going. I kept doing it because I really wanted. I liked seeing my rank go up, so I just kept doing it. A lot of the reasons and why I wanted to stop 100%ing it. A lot of it had to do with annoying Figment bullshit, to be honest. Especially because there's no way to determine where you can find them. I have no
Yes,
shame.
there is.
What there is?
In the game, pause your game and go to the Figments and hit the X button.
That doesn't give me a general location on where they're at.
Well, it tells you the area they're in, yeah. Because it changes based on your area.
Yes.
Wait, what? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to show me this real quick when we jump into this, into Sasha's world. I need to see this.
Well done, Raz. Well done, Raz.
Also, I learned that if you, yeah, I'm skipping a lot of cutscenes, I know. I learned that if you, what's it called? Okay, the lock-on changing is really weird. I'm struggling.
Good.
I noticed that.
You almost never need it.
Thank God you don't need it for anything. But oh God, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Figment thing. I don't know. You have to show me what you mean. Does it show here? It does. Okay. What is this? What do you mean it shows me the area here? Like, what does this mean?
Well, I mean, number updates depending on the area of the stage you're in.
Oh.
There's 69 Figments in this area, or I mean, because Sasha's level's so small, it's probably just 69 in general.
It is 69 in general.
Enough horseplay, Rasputin.
That's not the part that I had issues with. Wait, what does it want me to do?
It was just a thought I was having, and it's not dead. It is just returned.
Oh, it wanted me to pick up the thing. I forgot. Yeah, it's telling me about the ammo training and stuff. Also, I love how there's literal businessmen that censor you. Or censor thoughts that aren't supposed to exist. I love that.
Oh man, when the FCC comes in.
Fast enough.
But yeah, no, the Figment grabbing thing is, for me, it's just like there's nothing in game that I can think of immediately that is just like, yeah, you can do that. You can find it in this area. Because like, for example, if you grab like the first Figment of a level, right? I wish that means like it's at the beginning of the level, but that's not how that works. They're all in these really weird spots. There were a few times I had to go to guides. I think it was like twice I had to, because I legitimately had no idea. I looked all over the place and I straight up couldn't find it. And there's a few levels that they'll hide one Figment in very evil spots. Waterloo. But yeah, it's just kind of iffy for me. But yeah, that I guess that's basic branding. Let's talk about the amazing what's it called? The amazing campground overworld. Again, I'll hold by the fact where I think it is too big. But
It's not as big as you might think it is. Like once you've played around on it enough, It starts feeling really small.
Still not fast.
Well, I guess I think it's too open. I think is the right words I'm looking for. It's not too big. It's a little too open. Also, there's a complete the campfire area has no reason to exist.
That much I can understand.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, it shouldn't have been as big as it is. That part I will agree is too big.
Yeah, and I think some areas are a little too open. Like the to get to the parking lot from the main lodge, for example, is it feels like a really long walk. I mean, when you have levitation, getting from that place to the other place is really fast. And luckily, you have the teleportation thing. Oh, I didn't mean to skip the cutscene. That was actually a pretty good one. But yeah, it just feels a little too big, especially at the beginning of the game where I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just kind of... I guess it's one of those things where once you figure out what you're doing, it's not as bad, but it feels kind of too large for me, but the characters make up for it, luckily. So, it's kind of just like a minor complaint, if anything.
Rasputin, see those valves?
So what do you think? I guess I think you're the only one who hasn't had input on the overworlds as of yet.
The overworld, yeah, it's a bit large, but tolerable. My only gripe is how you can be locked completely out of it at some point in the game.
Just 1 point.
Well,
it straight up tells you the point of no return, though.
Well,
Though it flashes on your screen on the PC version for half a fucking second.
It's not just PC version. PS4 did it too.
wow.
It literally is just like autosaves. By the way, point of no return.
Yep. Like they couldn't have told us that before.
Yeah. But we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, I mean, is there anything else you guys really want to add about the overworld? I mean, the only thing that's really good about it, it's fine. I think it's okay as an overworld. It's not even like a true overworld. It's mostly just for the character development and stuff like that. So
Really just a hub area.
it's kind of a hub area. Like you can, as you can see, you can ignore basically everything that happens in the hub, and it kind of
You get 100%.
yeah. Unless you go for 100%, you're gonna spend a lot more time if you 100%. In there, that is definitely for certain. Where is the... Okay, it's over here. So yeah, let's move on to Sasha's shooting gallery, which is where we're at right now.
Good.
This is, again, just another kind of training level. It's okay.
Yeah. Honestly, probably my least favorite level in the game, and that's kind of a good thing, considering how dull it is.
I kind of want to say it's my least favorite too, but it's almost not even a level at the same time to me.
I mean, it is by technicality.
It is by technicality, but I feel like I'm cheating to an extent because it's so fast. You know, it barely exists.
It has a selection area in the collective unconscious. That's good enough for me.
Fair.
It has the
fair.
5 bags.
It's really short. Also, this level was one of the most annoying ones for me to find. I had one figment missing in it. It was, I don't know. It wasn't even like height. Oh wait, no. It was one of the vaults. It was devilishly placed.
Oh, it's really easy to find if you know where it is.
Yeah.
It's really hard if you don't. Which, pro tip for anybody, when you have the shoe icon, run around the blank spaces.
Yeah, that
was mean.
It was very mean of them. Then that's why 100%ing this game to me is kind of all over the place. Because like for the most part, it's actually pretty straightforward, but sometimes it has its moments.
And as I've kind of alluded to before too, you need multiple saves. This game has a lot of bug outs where you can just lose the ability to collect things.
Thank God I never dealt with that, but I do not doubt it.
Like for instance, one of the most common ones is it's the level towards the end of the game, the Spanish stage. Like it's possible to lose out on one of the health items.
Black Velvetopia?
Yeah, that's it. There's 2 health items there, and it's possible to miss out on one of them. And it's very easy to do.
Luckily that didn't happen to me again, but yeah, it is.
Like all you have to do is not talk to somebody, and the game encourages you not to.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this level's it's not bad, I guess. It's just it's really short. Like I'm almost done with it already.
And I mean, I can't even really fault the theming or anything because like that's the point. It's supposed to be really small and barren, and like it's supposed to be showing that his mind's under control.
Yep. Unlike everyone else's mind. Oh, speaking of which, this is the shoe section, so I think you just have to go over here. Yeah. This is the only level that does something stupidly cruel like that. Well, kind of. Alright, Agent Crawler, I'll go to you in a second. I'm busy.
But you have to learn how to burn things with your brain.
One of the most useless kind of abilities. Well, I'll get into that a little bit more.
And it's especially funny how you can be caught on fire too.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about this level? I guess, and this level probably is one of the ones we can talk about the least. Luckily, 'cause it's so simple.
Definitely, yeah. It's so simple it hurts. But I mean, that's assuming you were just going for a casual run.
I mean, even in a 100% run, it's really simple. There's just like one thing that's stupidly out of the way, or not out of the way, but just like oddly difficult to find.
Hard.
It's oddly
even
difficult.
That only took me like 2 minutes to find,
Yeah.
so I can't even be that mad.
It's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I guess that's really it for Sasha's training. Luckily, this is the only level. This and like basic braining are like the only levels that are like super simple, and to an extent, Mia's dance party, which we're gonna talk about not next, but almost next. So let's actually briefly talk about the Brain Tumbler experiment level. It's kind of just another level. That one's kind of annoying though, because you do have to constantly go back and forth. But that's for story reasons. I can give it a little bit more like lenience for that. Everything is also, it's probably the most like, every level is pretty linear for the most part.
Yeah.
But that's like, that level's like linear in the sense of it's literally just like a hallway, and getting all the figments is really easy. There's not really anything you really
You
have
say
to
that,
go
but that was the
way.
first level in the game where I really struggled with all the figments.
I don't think there was any for me. There was one annoying flying one at the way end of the level that I had to
That
get.
wasn't it. It was one though, just sitting on the ground that I spent, I want to say maybe 4 hours on that stupid level because I could not see it. My brain just could not register that figment being there.
Oh wow.
I collected it by complete accident.
Oh god.
Like that's the worst part. I didn't even collect it intentionally.
It's funny because one of the worst levels and segments, aka Mia's dance party race, I had almost no issues getting all the figments there, and I was dead ass afraid that I was gonna be stuck there for hours.
I was.
Yeah, I know, and I trust me, it makes sense to why. I can see why. That was, I had to go through the racetrack like 3 times, and I got them all. So I was. Really
I couldn't even see half of them.
Yeah, that's an issue I think with the whole 2D figment thing. It can be really hard to see some of these, especially because they're not like completely visible. Like as you guys can probably see for people watching,
They don't have that billboard effect like what Doom has for its
Oh,
enemies.
yeah, also, little fun
They also
fact for
blink.
all of you too. I'm colorblind. That makes these figments that much harder.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
That's the whole 2D thing. It makes it just
Yes, I have.
rough.
Shooting things is fun and
so levels like Mia's dance party are
If you lose
hell.
control of your own
Oh.
mind, it's
Ooh.
very hard to get
Black
back.
Velvetopia must have been
That one too.
That one must have been big yikes.
Actually, if you try
Not
to
as bad as you would think, but there was still definitely a few that I...
And what
Yeah,
color
yeah,
is it
yeah.
you can't see? If you don't
I'm
mind
not
me.
telling.
Oh.
I want to say it's yellow, but I think that might be Vic. I'm thinking of, because I think you've told me before. I'm not 100%
No, I
sure.
haven't. I've intentionally avoided it.
He doesn't want me to make fun of him.
Eventually,
So
It's not full on black and white though. I'll say that.
yeah, he's not a dog, obviously. Oh yeah, there's a boss here. It's easy.
Which I almost died to, oddly enough.
No, it's easy.
I died to it.
God, you guys are terrible.
Although, I was being an idiot, and I was trying to melee kill it the first time around, until I only had 1 HP left.
Alright, I'll melee kill it just for you.
Which was basically my approach to everything.
Just punch it.
Just punch it.
Enough horseplay, Rasputin.
So I guess, I don't think Em mentioned anything about Brain Tumbler experiment level. Honestly, it's probably one of the least memorable stages. I kind of forget it exists.
Yeah,
It's just a
I completely
big-ass
forgot about when you were
cube.
telling me about going to Raz's mind. It's like, I completely forgot that it existed.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have to destroy the regeneration things.
I mean, the theming of that level itself is fine, too. Like, it looks neat. It's just...
It's there exclusively for plot, so...
Oh, yeah.
Which is okay. I'm fine with plot exclusive levels in any game. But it just makes it... It's kind of unmemorable, because it's just like a setup stage, I guess, of anything.
Yeah,
so.
I guess it's
just the big-ass
definitely set up
cube.
for meat circus of all levels, so...
No, we're not talking about this stage, and we're talking about, what's it called? The Brain Tumbler experiment stage. The one where the Thorn level, I guess, is the easiest way to differentiate it.
Thank you, because... Just remember, kids, don't sniff black pepper.
Don't sniff anything
So
in this
is
universe,
how
apparently.
we should learn another lesson?
If we've learned anything, don't sniff anything in this universe.
TV.
As said by a group that named themselves after a dog.
Oh, trust me, Romper. Oof, if only he was here. I tried to get in my room, guys. I couldn't. It was unfortunate. Now I can shoot things with my mind outside of Saucer Shooting Gallery. So
That reminds me of another young boy that can shoot,
I want to shoot more things.
as everyone calls, PSI out of his skull.
Ness?
Bacon.
How did you know?
Because he said PSI?
Psychic power. Ready to come back and get you.
Yeah, pounds per second, or no, pounds per square inch. Funny, because if you're at a really young age and you want to know what that is, the first thing that'll probably come up is pounds per square inch, and everyone's just gonna assume, oh, Ness is just blowing on everything with his mind.
I mean,
Of
he
course.
can be. You can literally name your main ability like anything you want. So you can name it like PSI fuck for all you care.
Okay, whoa.
So, did you have any opinion on the Brain Tumbler experiment? I honestly, I don't discount you if you don't. It barely. It's so unmemorable to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, you have to go into it
Doesn't
3
feel
separate
that right.
times.
Yeah, but it seems like I got into that stage late.
You didn't. It's right at.
It feels like it was late whenever I got into it. But
You have to go through. You have to do it before Sasha's experiment, and then you have.
no, I know. It's just it feels late.
Oh.
It has the feel of it.
And then
It just has that late game feel, doesn't it?
No, not really. Not to me. It's really linear. There's not really a lot to the level as is. There's like barely any enemies or gimmicks or anything. It's literally.
It's not so much the atmosphere. It's not so much the design. It's the atmosphere itself that gives off that vibe. Is what I mean.
Well, I can understand that, but I think that's kind of the point because it's like a foreshadowing vibe for the second half of the game.
Where everything kicks into high gear, apparently.
Yeah, things get very serious in the second half of the game. So I guess that's really it. So let's talk about Mia's dance party, which we'll be getting to really soon, actually. That level's pretty freaking cool. At first, I was really iffy on it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was really iffy on it, and sometimes it can be really annoying to fall. But and the race part is kind of
That part's
okay.
pain if you want to go for 100%.
Yeah, if you want to go for 100%, it's pain. But for the most part, I do enjoy Mia's dance party. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite levels, but I do think, comparatively...
I think it's towards the bottom for me too, but it's not a bad level by any means. It's just... something has to take that spot.
Yeah, and also has the most one of the most famous things in the game, if not most infamous things.
Yeah, really depressing because I wish more people didn't know about that, so they'd be surprised when they played it. But I kind of understand that they have to say it.
And I'm pretty sure M doesn't know what it is because it's kind of something kind of tucked away, hidden, and when you're 100% of the game, you'll kind of stumble across it that way. Basically, in a nutshell, Mia she didn't let kids burn, but she helped kids out.
Oh no, I know about that. I know about that quite well.
See, even he knows about it.
And wow,
can't forget about the nightmares sitting around in there too.
That was extremely dark.
It is. Ooh. I mean, it is a dark game, but yeah, it's kind of out of left field.
That's the darkest part of it.
It's kind of out of left field.
I don't know if I agree, but it's dark.
Yeah, I don't think it's the darkest part, but it is left field.
Because I mean, honestly,
so far.
Yeah,
that hit my feels quite hard. It hit my feels very hard.
It's not very fun listening to what are supposed to be kids being like, "You let us die."
Yeah. Or you just be nice like me, like, "Oh, they're all crying. Okay, let's call a crawler. Let's see what he has to say about this."
Wait, does he say anything about it?
No, he doesn't.
Damn.
It was just my first instinct. It's like, let's call him.
Let's take out the bacon.
I couldn't make him watch.
Oh my god. If only. But here's the thing, thinking a little bit more critically about that. I'm actually surprised a bit this game got away with the T rating if something like that's going to be in it.
I mean, it's not like gore.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like actual kids in the game died, but it's a part of the story. That's why it's surprising.
I'm not too surprised.
That is very damn dark.
I'm not too surprised.
I would say there's just as dark, if not darker, things that are actually part of the story, like the suicide of Gloria's mother, for instance.
Yeah. That's
whose mother? I'm so sorry.
Gloria's mother committed suicide. It's literally in one of the slideshows.
Even if you don't watch the slideshows, it is very obvious from the plays. They make it very obvious.
Yep. That whole level's really fucking. Whew, that's a weird level. I like it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. So let's talk. What is happening? Oh, I'm stuck in a bush.
Yeah, you're on one of the thorns.
Oh man, stun lock.
I don't think I can get out of this.
Stun lock.
Guys, I don't think
That's the first time I ever saw. I saw that happen a lot in Black Helvetia, but never here.
I don't think I can get out of this.
You gotta save and reload. It's the only way.
Interesting. Well, guys, wait, where'd all my saves go? Oh, I forgot. They're based on your what's it called? Your thingy.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Accidental Video Game Destroyer over here, coming back full force.
Okay.
Yeah, Mia's dance party is, I don't know, it's just fun. It's groovy. I like Mia. She's groovy.
Yeah. Plus, you get levitation there.
Oh yeah, that immediately makes it like essentially the greatest level in the entire game, because levitation's amazing. Name one thing better than levitation in this game.
There is.
Okay. Besides levitation in the Milkman.
Okay.
Good question.
I think the race part is it's okay. Like it doesn't it's annoying for 100%, but for casual, that's what another reason.
Fine.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think casual is fine, and M can probably vouch for that, depending on.
Casual. It wasn't hard per se, but I did almost come in second place.
So did I. So I don't know.
Took me a few tries, but I knew I was going for 100% by that point, so I wasn't even trying to win the race.
Yeah, that's also kind of like why I almost failed, because I was trying to get as much as I possibly could. Also, if you notice, I like to do flips when I do the shooty move because.
Oh yeah, because you don't get locked in place.
Yeah, and I like to move when I shoot. It's what should be happening when you're locking on as is, but what can you do?
At least there's an option around it, so can't complain too much.
The only thing about Mia's dance party, I think that, again, I mentioned it, but luckily they alleviate this. That can be really annoying is if you fall down. But,
Yeah.
again, once you get
once you get past that segment, they'll give you springs to go on.
Yeah, which is great. And that's even better for when you're 100%ing, too. So it's a very thankful inclusion to me. But yeah, I don't know, like Mayo said, I would maybe put it on the lower sections levels, but it's also, or like lower.
It's not bad by any means, though. It's just because everything else is so good.
Yeah, and it's also kind of still a tutorial level, so I kind of take it as
And
that.
the funky jams.
It is a very funky level. I also get to ask everybody how to dance. You literally just go, hey.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Can you teach me how to dance? That's that. That's great. This is the part I got stuck on, so let me be...
You almost got stuck again.
Let me be careful. Alright, we're good. So yeah, I guess that's that for that level. Unless anybody else has any input they want to put on the stage. Okay, I have to let this cutscene, please. This one definitely.
Oh, please.
The trouble originates in this.
Hey guys, it's a dentist who harvests brains.
That's no dentist.
It is a dentist.
That's the best. He really is a dentist.
He really is a dentist.
He just has no idea what he's doing.
Yep. I mean, he also
I wish we
works.
could have gone to his brain.
He also works in
Kinda funny that
a.
we can't.
He should have. He does work in an asylum, though. So.
True. An abandoned asylum.
Yep. At that. So let's move on to. I consider this a level, the Lungfish boss, because it's basically like an auto-scrolling level.
It's a sub-level.
Yeah, it's basically an auto-scrolling level. It's a boss. There's a boss at the way end. Most levels actually have a boss at the way end. Some don't, but most do.
I
And
don't think his does.
Worry, Dogen. I'm coming up there to
That's
save
actually
you.
the only thing off the top of my head that doesn't. Now that I think about it. Space Brain.
Mia's dance party doesn't have a boss.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah. Basic braining technically doesn't either.
Those are the two I mentioned. Those are the
Glorious-
ones I can think of, though.
Glorious
Does
now, Glorious
Waterloo
now.
have one?
No, Waterloo doesn't. Does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
The entire level's the boss. But yeah, so the lung.
The stream crashed for me.
Oh.
Is it fine for you, Em?
No. Wait. It's back live. Okay.
Interesting.
It lives.
Maybe your internet died for a second. It couldn't have died because we heard you.
Yeah, and I was just about to say.
OBS
But
hiccup.
yeah, it's fine now. You might want to double check the recording when we're done with this.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, it's recording in the stream.
Yes. So, Lungfish, not Opolis, but the boss. Yeah, it's an auto-scroller. Not much I can say beyond that.
I had a really hard time figuring out what to do on that boss.
That was one of the levels that I fucking got stuck in the ground and fell through it. So,
Excuse me?
yeah, you heard me. I got stuck in the ground
The
and fell
stage
through
is
it.
not hard. It's confusing to figure out what to do at first, or it was for me.
It's annoying.
Stream
for
crashed
me.
again.
What? Is it just crashing for you, or is it crashing for both?
Well, you're live at the moment, so everything's
Okay,
fine.
came back.
Oh,
Well, it's recording everything for me on my end, so it should be good. I'll double check, but it should be good. Yeah,
Hopefully
no,
it's just-
the boss annoyed me because it's just an auto-scroller. Name an auto-scroller that's fun right now. Go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Excuse me, sweetheart.
You don't even get to say anything because it
Wow.
isn't fun.
Wow. Uncouth.
What, do you like auto-scrollers?
Of course I do. Yeah, I'm the only cosmic creature here that does, okay?
Em's a
Of
weirdo.
course.
I might have to kick you out of this show.
I don't think they're immediately bad because they're auto-scrollers, but they just happen to usually be bad.
Yeah. Sadly, you're right.
In this case,
Because a lot of people get so pissy about the idea of an auto-scroller, and it's a shame. It really is.
I do not like the lungfish one. The auto-scrolling sections are too long for me.
I don't like the lungfish, the stage right after it.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
Ugh.
But because that's
didn't
next
feel
on the
right.
list. But yeah, no, I really don't like what's it called. I don't know. It's the auto-scrolling sections just lasted way too long for the boss itself. The boss itself also, even though I died on it once, overall was like lackluster to me. So it just, if we're talking about like, it's not technically a stage, but if this was like a technical stage, like if this was an actual stage, it would easily be my least favorite because it's an auto-scroller and it's not a good one for me. And that's that.
I didn't really have any issues with the stage itself, funny enough. I just had trouble with the boss itself.
Yeah, because did you have any problems with the camera, by the way, at all?
No.
No.
It was flawless.
Yeah.
Okay, Clutchy, did you?
No, I was good.
Because my only gripe about that is because of the auto-scrolling, in fairness, the camera was having an absolute fit for some reason. I was locking on, but it made no sense for the camera to go apeshit like it did.
Actually, I take it back. It did go apeshit for me once.
Because holy shit.
Must not be any arrowheads nearby.
And because of that, I almost completely died a good few times.
I died a few times on the auto-scrolling. Well, not like full-on died, but like I screwed up the auto-scrolling section a few times. Then I screwed up the boss itself, I think, like once, until I figured out that there was like a really easy way to do it. But yeah, that's that. Let's move on to Lungfishopolis, I guess. I mean, auto-scrollers are auto-scroller level, so.
Didn't like Lungfishopolis. It didn't feel right.
I didn't like it much either. I loved it for the like plot
idea
and crazy stuff and like the whole Godzilla
Oh yeah, like the plot and
thing.
setting were both amazing. Like if we're going purely by that, it's one of the best in the game.
Yeah, but agreed. Definitely agreed. The main downfall for me though is it got rid of controls that were kind of I was still thinking were pretty iffy at the time, and it made them even more iffy. The fastest way to travel is literally to do these flips. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you walk really slowly.
And for unimaginable reasons, they get rid of your levitation.
I didn't really notice that for some reason.
They're like, this won't be really effective right here. It's what Raz says or whatever, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Just a giant levitating boulder going through all of the city.
I wish. That'd be like the perfect place for me to want to use levitation.
Seriously.
So, I mean, I guess I kind of understand because you're already big and you jumping that high is kind of, I guess, redundant.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I feel like Semester Jump High would have been nice because you climb so slow.
Yeah, I know. That's the part that really.
That's the killer for me.
But luckily, all the lungfish there and the boss there and all that stuff are all really good.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, like if we're going purely based on characters and theming, one of the best, if not the best, in the game.
Easily, yeah, I definitely agree there. So yeah, I guess we can move on from that. I guess we kind of all agree that none of us really like that stage.
Like
it could have worked,
okay.
but it didn't.
I guess the problem for me is like it felt too much like Rampage, which is a game I already don't like that much.
I don't remember being in this area.
Don't worry, optional. It's completely optional and arguably extremely pointless. And by arguably, I mean it is. It's alright. It's recording for me fine. I think that's what matters the most to me. Yeah, I'm going around getting the dowsing stuff, getting the, what's it called, the cobweb thing, just in case I make it to the Milkman stage in time. I don't think I will, but I'm just doing it.
Just in case.
Yeah, I'm just doing it as this little bit of a safety net. So let's move on to, speaking of Milkman!
So the only level that could possibly give Lungfishopolis a run for its money in terms of the theming.
I love easily my favorite stage in the entire game.
I understand completely.
Milkman
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's
Conspiracy.
definitely up there.
I love the Milkman Conspiracy. You know,
2%
top quality meme.
level.
Good pun there. Good. M just made a pun. But
really top quality meme.
But yeah, no, I am the milkman. My milk is delicious. Literally, it is about a crazy guard that is trying to figure out who the milkman is, and he's the milkman. And there's
Hey, that's clearly the greatest Batman disguise I've ever heard of.
and there's what's it called? There's what is it called? There's G-Men. That's their name.
Yes, G-Men. It's the guards basically.
Yeah,
they are all amazing. They're all voiced by the same guy.
So I love A Hat in Time, and that's the first thing that came to mind is the crow people there. They're very similar.
Hat in Time 100% took inspiration from these. You cannot convince me they didn't.
It is so good. They're just
it's
like
way too similar.
They're so good. They're just like, I am a road worker. I work on roads. And then then you get all the signs.
Road sign.
Yeah, this is my road sign.
This job is unsanitary, but someone's gotta do it.
There were so many funny lines because sometimes they'll be just running past the plumbers, then one of them will just say feces and nothing else. They just say
they are so
feces.
funny. Just stand around and listen to them talk, or look at what they're doing with their stuff, because they clearly have no idea how to use them. Like, for example, they're using a toilet plunger as a trumpet.
This is a water
hydrant.
I am watering my plants. How much was that watering can? It's really funny too because if you do clairvoyance on it, so you get clairvoyance here, and again,
I use that on everybody. It's great.
Yeah, it's a
that
really
is the dopiest damn thing I've ever seen in the game.
It's a pointless ability in retrospect. I don't think you actually really need it. Maybe in one occasion you might need it.
You just need it for the trophy. That's it.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It's funny to see what you look like in the eyes of like literally everything.
Oh yeah, and I checked everybody.
It's really
some
funny.
characters you wouldn't think have, like, every individual kid from the campsite has their own vision of what you look like.
Yep.
Please tell me you checked it on literally the final boss, by the way.
I tried to. It wouldn't let me.
I know
It's
when
great.
I know in the very, very first phase you look like meat.
Yeah, I know that
that's
one.
what
I
it
did
was.
check that.
Seems like in the second phase it's the same way.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. But it's funny, and the G-Men make that stage. Also, that's one of the few stages that I was when I was playing it, I was like, I feel like I saw it somewhere. Maybe I saw screenshots, or maybe a very, very, very long time ago I saw some videos.
It's easily the most memorable stage in the game, so I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, because like from a visual standpoint, I know it, but yeah, I love it so much. And then of course. The boss is great too, because she's like, "We don't have your milk, or the milk isn't ready, and you're not ready for the milk."
It's like a, just like classic 1950s, 1960s mother just went absolutely ape shit.
It's such a good stage.
I love it.
It is easily.
I don't think that level has any downsides, except for maybe one thing, which is there's this 1 point level that was really obtuse and really hard for me to figure out.
Wait, there was one what?
One spot of the level that I had a really hard time figuring out what to do, which involved getting to the bank.
Which part of it?
Oh, I know what he's talking about, I believe.
Are you talking about the
Literally
invisible?
actually
get the
end
bank
of
code.
a road.
Oh wait, you do have to use it. You have to use clairvoyance. You do have to because of the invisibility part.
Why would you guess that you have to put in something wrong?
Oh, you mean where you have to put in
Yeah,
something wrong?
really.
Yeah, then you have to back away and you have to clairvoyance. It's funny though because he walks out and he's like, "No, go away." Also, it's really funny when you get caught because they're like,
"Oh, I didn't
"Who
get
is-"
caught." What do you say?
If you get caught, they're like, "Who are you? What do you know about the milkman? Are you the milkman? Who is the
This
milkman?"
is throughout
that's
the
what it took me to
entire
see the general getting
stage.
caught. Yes, I saw that.
It's funny, but it gets irritating whenever you'd get caught repeatedly. Because
You can skip it.
I couldn't, yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't exactly know that at the time, I think. The worst part for the stage for me was it actually caused me confusion. But I do like the atmosphere that the actual stage gave.
Caused you confusion because it like goes upside down and it's all like wacky and stuff like that?
No, that ain't it. It's it has, you know, the detective stage in Gex 3?
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere that particular stage has, and somehow this stage hits it so similarly, it's not even funny. Even the music is spot on with it.
The music's really good. I also love how it's called the Milkman Conspiracy. I know that's such a simple name, but there's something really funny
It's
about
so
it.
great!
Like
The Milkman is the Alex Jones of Psychonauts. It literally just comes off that way.
Here's an optional cutscene, by the way, guys.
Going for the advanced training? What's the rush?
I already did the advanced training. Excuse me? How dare you, Lily?
I hate to burst your bubble.
Oh, this is the part where he reads her mind.
That's where Mikhail tries to kill the bully, but you're not far enough yet.
Doesn't need
Yeah.
us anymore.
Almost, but this is the part where Raz reads her mind and is like, God, I wish you would just kiss me.
I think there are several fishy things that need psychic investigation.
But yeah.
Sure.
Milkman Conspiracy, my favorite. Easily my favorite stage in the game.
Shut up and do what? Oh,
So what do you get? So are we all in agreement? It's basically either your favorite / one of your favorites.
One of at least. Yeah.
What about you, Em? You on that same boat?
Sorry, what boat? I was reading the dialogue.
Are you on the same boat? On that's one of your favorite stages, the Milkman Conspiracy.
Oddly enough, yes.
Oddly enough, how's that odd?
Because it actually confused me.
Oh, well, that's, okay. I guess I can see that. Mikhail almost kills the bully right here, too.
Oh, he was gonna do it too.
We have a special on dream fluffs. You hear me? Dream fluffs.
I can't pick that up.
Good for you. Keep a pocket full of these.
Also, there's a scavenger hunt item here that's kind of obtuse to get. You need the shield power up, and it's really weird.
That bugged me so. Like, it makes sense when you think about it, but you would not think to.
I
guess that.
guessed and got it.
You guessed and got it. How do you get the nut?
You have to be
Telekinesis.
invisible.
Oh, I use telekinesis.
Oh, that works. Yeah, I use invisibility. And this, by the way, so at this point of the game, I feel like this is, first of all, it starts to rapid fire levels, which I enjoy a lot because the levels are definitely.
Oh yeah, the second half of the game is definitely more enjoyable than the first half in terms of levels.
And not only that, but like I guess because the first half of the game is mostly just like training and stuff like that, like training levels and whatever. The thing I like about the Milkman Conspiracy and onward, maybe not the Milkman Conspiracy itself, but I just clipped into the okay.
Yeah, you see see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was the first time for me.
I haven't seen. I guess I'm behind. I haven't seen it.
But this is also the part of the game too.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Specifically after I think the Milkman Conspiracy, though the Milkman Conspiracy starts to have little undertones of this. This is the part. That's the part of the game too where they really start making use of your psychic abilities and.
Oh, yeah.
In different fronts, because that was also another thing that was really irking me throughout the entire game. I was like, am I gonna ever use my when am I gonna use pyrokinesis? When am I gonna use this? When am I gonna use that? Like that wasn't really popping up for me.
Dude, I want to be able to fire, fire out of my fingertips like Mario. I want to advance my Micrio skills.
Wait, I haven't seen this cutscene. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I did get this one.
Oh, what is it, Vernon?
Have you guys seen Doggett or Elka or Milka? We were playing hide and seek, and it's actually a funny
Milka?
story.
What now?
So this
That's
is
Invisible Girl.
This is the story guy.
Stop! We saw them.
Speaking of which, you have to sit down and talk to him all the time. You better. But it's not mandatory. It's just you have to.
Yeah, if I wasn't playing to try to show as much as I could.
You better believe when we get to the LP, I'm gonna spend the entire part just sitting around listening to his stories.
Oh no, I don't blame you at all. Trust me. Because it's great. It's good, great, awesome, outstanding, amazing. So let's move on to Glorious Theater, which I like to call in my headcanon as Disney gone wrong.
Actually, that does make sense. And honestly, I love the gimmick that it has. It's very smart, very creative, but it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, I'm not rank 20.
That's it for now.
Oh.
Hey,
Well, you'll have it by the time you're done with the dance party, so...
Yeah. I guess I'll just buy this.
that's it for now.
Because I like the mental magnet. Guess I'll grab
Stores
the...
a magnet in his brain.
So, like, it's funny because I kind of was expecting me to not like Gloria's Theater that much, but I love the fact that there's, like, 2 different variations of scenes, and I love how they really stress the fact that, like, there's the happiness thing, and then there's the manual mood changer where it's happy, but it's also unhappy, and they're straight up just like, you could do it in a different way, but you know, you probably shouldn't do that unless you want to see some weird results. Like, they're just straight up, just totally, just basically say, I haven't seen.
So I guess if they could act in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And you know, if there was no emphasis on this being a dream or in someone's psyche, this would be...
Oh, I never saw this one.
This entire stage would wind up being where it's apparently quote-unquote normal to be assaulted by the actors. I mean, literally.
Only on the unhappy mood, too.
Yeah.
I love it so much. They're like, it's also so great, like, the way they talk and stuff, too.
I'm not picking up anything.
They're like,
Must not be any
when they're evil, they're like, ah, it is me, the evil, this and that. It's, I don't know, everything.
You gotta tone it down. Your acting skills are too good.
I just imagined like one of the cut scenes with one of the girls actually saying that. Oh God, I need that.
So
Ew.
It is
That-
so
no.
good. I love
must not be
that level.
I'm gonna open up the Wikipedia page because I want to see if there is some quotes here. There is not. I'm disappointed.
It's not like, so as a level itself, again, I don't think it's good. Also, this is where all the gimmicks definitely really start coming up too. But
And the worst part, that stage is actually extremely short. It's the gimmick that makes it long.
yeah, it's literally barely.
And that's probably my only kind of gripe about is that, yeah, you have to know what you're doing in what order, unless you want to just brute force every possible combination.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like good, like bad, good, bad. I think, or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
there are three stage designs too. So.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
bad on the first one and like good on the next one, and then like bad on the next one again. And then you have to go backwards and stuff. It's,
And of course, you're gonna want to watch every possible variation, right?
yeah, it's great. Also, I love how the actor there that's getting killed by the Phantom, they have like a really feminine, because they're a girl, but they have like a really feminine
yeah.
crying voice. But when you get up to them, they just have this really deep, raspy voice.
Masculine voice, I love
Yeah,
it.
it's so good. That's another.
What do you want?
That's another one of those stages where I feel like
Are you okay? I had
the gimmick is better than the stage itself. Kind of like
Well, first of all, Sasha
what
Nine
was the
right
one
there
stage we were
is
talking about?
so
It's kind of
bad
like that.
and
Milkman, Lungfishopolis. There'd be one of those two.
I think it was Lungfishopolis, where
completely brainless.
we thought it was like one of the better stages in terms of like the gimmick and the story and so. Yeah, it was Lungfishopolis. It's one of those, like the gimmick and the story is better than this actual stage itself. Because it's just like you said, it's just fun to sit there, swap between the the different moods, and you know, go on from there.
Just see what happens. See what
I
catches
do
fire.
actually have a lot of fun with the actual platforming part, though.
Yeah, that part's pretty
Once you get
alright
out.
too.
And it's funny how they stick with the play aesthetics, because if you fall into the quote-unquote water,
Oh yeah, it grounds you immediately.
Yep.
and it's, of course, with the, just acted out
Check it out.
stage, water monster, which honestly was a nice touch.
Oh, yeah, they could have not done it and nobody would have had to deny, but
It's really
Unless we
good
did.
overall, though. Let's.
What are you guys talking
so
about?
the next thing you can do in either order.
Yeah, well, actually, I was gonna say let's do. Let's talk a little bit about the. I want to talk a little bit about the outside portion of the asylum. I know it's really small, but for a hub. But it does have its own characters, and you can talk to them, even though you go into their mind, which I wish you could just do that with every character and just have a whole bunch of different levels, because you'd get a fucking door to go into people's minds.
Again, I really wish you could have gone inside the dentist guy's mind.
Oh, I would have
still surprised that
out of curiosity, the one that was actually preventing you from actually getting to the dentist, can you enter his mind? Because I never did.
Nope. If you try, it literally says they've made it so he's too strong, so you can't go into his mind.
All right.
So you can go inside an actual person that has training of their mind, but not that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
They specifically.
You can go into the sane person's mind that is now insane, but you can't go into the insane person's mind that is just too powerful.
He has one of my favorite lines of dialogue when you talk to him. He's like, "Oh, it's Mr. Lobotomy or whatever, Doctor Lobota something." It's supposed to be a riff on lobotomy.
Oh, whipping out the old British. Ooh.
But he says one of my favorite lines. He's like, well, you see, you're not you're not this guy, which means you're not paying my bills, which means you're not this, which means you can kindly just leave. I don't remember the exact lines, but he's like...
I remember that line, but I don't remember it either.
Yeah, but it's a really funny line. He's like, you don't pay for this, you don't do that. And therefore, I quite frankly don't care. Leave my presence. Levitation. The best ability in the game. Well, strictly because of the jump, honestly.
I mean, the mobility is nice too, but yeah, it's the jump.
It only makes you, I think, slightly faster, unfortunately.
Well,
unless you're going down a slope.
Oh yeah, then it makes you go at like Mach 5. Also, speaking of music, but this is one of the few levels that I remember the music from.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I'll ever forget this stage's music.
And the screaming of the burning children, let's not forget that.
Yes,
oh, is it the most iconic song in the game?
Wait, what? Sorry, somebody said something to me. Did you say you remembered Meat Circus?
Not a thing was mentioned about that.
You said psychotic level, the most psychotic level in the stage, and
we were talking about the screaming nightmare children.
Oh.
You know, that is some really creepypasta potential right there.
Show it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll show it off. Luckily, it's right at the beginning.
Terrifying.
Oh. But yeah, I did want to talk just briefly about the little overworld in the outside section of the asylum, which I think is pretty. It's pretty cool. It's got characters, you know. It's small, and I think
it's got
it
the
works.
milkman, so.
It's got the milkman, so you know it's, good for you.
I love after you beat the stage and he realizes he's the milkman. I am the milkman. I was commissioned to destroy all evidence of this place.
Oh, so he's a criminal now. Is literally just what goes on.
I mean, yes, if you get the Volt in the Milkman conspiracy,
it shows that he was hired by Oleander.
Yeah, I recall that.
Not only that, but he also worked somewhere before, and then he burnt it down. So.
Yeah, he seems. I wouldn't call him a pyromaniac.
No, he is.
I was just saying I wouldn't call him a pyromaniac because he wasn't consistent with it. But then I remember, oh right, he was about to burn the asylum down.
But then you remember, he's the milkman.
He also burns all. I think it's the sensors that he burns in his own mind.
He does. Yeah, he does. If you revisit the level, he will start. He constantly does it at all times. It's actually really funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that.
But yeah, it's really.
I thought there was actually an instance where you actually had to revisit levels.
No, you don't have to.
No, the only level you have to revisit is the brain tumbler.
Yep, that one you have to do 3 times, unfortunately. But that's all for story reasons. All these people will talk about dancing. This level's also outside of the racetrack. This place has some really nasty figments too. From
again, color blindness. It's fun.
course, it's all the neon stages. So let's talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about Waterloo since I went there first and I have that marked down first.
Yeah, that's the one I went to first anyway. So.
I like this. I actually surprisingly like this level. I feel like most people wouldn't like it.
I'm pretty sure it's actually a fan favorite. A lot of people really do.
Yeah.
What stage is this?
This is the game level where you're playing on the game, like the tabletop
strategy board stage.
Did not care for that.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I loved it.
I liked it a lot.
Like, if Milkman Conspiracy is not my favorite level, then it's this.
I like the idea. Problem is, it's just I feel it wasn't done quite right.
I think it was, and that's because it's probably the stage that uses your mental abilities to its like fullest capacity, and I think that's why I liked it a lot because you use a lot of the mental ability stuff.
Well, here we are, by the way.
Oh boy. Nightmare fuel.
So here's the little backstory. I like how they have a backstory right before you can go in. You know, she's just helping all the kids out and stuff. You know,
she's pleading with you to leave too.
Yep, she's being a good person. It's funny because you're in her mind. Literally, she could just take you out and be like, nope. But no.
I mean, by the context of what the slideshow offered, that wasn't her fault.
It wasn't, but she thinks it's her fault.
Blames herself, at least.
Yep. Yeah, this is, it is creepy.
It's even worse the sound.
Yep, which I can hear. Oh, it has the subtitles still.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have the subtitles on when I originally got here.
And you can't even unlock that door.
Nope.
Well, it's because
she's
she's giving her nightmares that day. So yeah, it's literally just this. It's her nightmares of her thinking the children. It's her fault that the children burned in a blaze. But yeah, that's the thing that everybody knows about because it's usually in those like videos of oddly dark moments in relatively normal game, which is wrong.
Which is funny because this game is definitely not.
This game is a very dark game, so I don't know what they're talking about.
It does definitely have darker moments. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Again, Gloria's mother commits suicide.
But
I don't even think that's necessarily the darkest.
But yeah, the Waterloo stage. I like the Waterloo stage. It's a good stage.
No, I usually don't even like strategy games that much, but I guess somehow combining that with what I already like from Psychonauts just works.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot, and I think it's a mixture of me liking strategy games. Then it's also supposed to be like a tabletop game. That and it's just funny because all the peasants they're asking for things from the freaking dude playing the game. Like they're literally asking him to give me a check.
Like get me some snails.
Yeah, give me some snail. Oh, the escargot guy is great. He's the knight you have to win. He's like, cool, give me some snails. I require a fabulous meal.
Fat bastard.
Actually, when he came out, I wasn't expecting him to be huge, but it was funny what he was. Also, I love how all the peasants...
Only your best meal, yes.
I also love how all the peasants are like... what's it called? They're like, God, what was on my mind? They talk about how they're gonna die all the time, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like, look, he's still Fred, come on.
Oh, I skipped that one, actually, my bad. Yeah, they're like always talking about how they're gonna die or whatever, and then Raz is just like, you guys are so negative. You're not gonna die. And then they all die.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After a while, pessimism gets on your nerves. It really does.
And it's really funny too because one of the guys is like, I think doesn't talk about how. Oh no, one of the peasants is also really funny. He's like, yeah, help me get this, and then I'll help you out. And then you help him get it. And he's like, finally, I could rob the carpenter, which you were saving from robbers earlier.
Yeah.
And then Raz is just like, you can use your gun on that knife first, and he's like, fine, just for practice.
And then he dies.
Yeah, and then he dies.
Well, I mean, that's kind of karma for you.
It's a really good stage.
I mean, the carpenter was already dead because he went to go fight too.
No, the carpenter is the only one who lives. At least I think he is.
Oh, I thought he goes fights, but maybe he doesn't.
Nah, I don't remember.
I think it actually varies.
It might actually. I'm not sure though.
Because it sounds like you both had different experiences, and I know mine was different. So,
if that's the case, that's actually that makes the level even like cooler to me.
Oh sure.
Because that just makes it more varied and stuff, which is awesome.
It'd make it even more like a strategy game.
And meanwhile, we have the classy-ass music in the background while you go up against Napoleon.
It's literally like
Napoleon's one of the best things about that level, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. He's like, finally, you can show my brother that he's actually a part of this lineage and not a shithead, basically.
Why are you trying to sound like the Arnold, the Governor?
It's because he got a silly accent. A silly man.
This is a French accent, not, you know.
Oh
no, whatever. We're not voice actors.
I just want to say, I also love this little part. They really
never even see any of those obstacles, except for the water, obviously.
There's only one that you actually go over, the green one. The rest you don't.
Oh wait, where's the green?
The asylum tower.
Oh, you can hover over it. I just jumped it.
Oh, well, I didn't. Well, I probably didn't because it was one of the few times where I was like, oh, wait, I can actually do this.
Yeah, we're in the asylum stages now, right?
Yes.
We're well into them.
Well, no one bothered to bring up about the idea of the brains being collected.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't really talked about that.
Brain collecting, and
I guess that's kind of story.
And then Raz kisses them all.
That is so
Which is
disturbing.
disgusting. He even says it's nasty. That's the worst part.
His little
even says that it's nasty.
His little quips are really funny though about it.
Oh sure. And he kisses all of them, like even Bobby Zilch.
Yep.
Why?
Even the bully kisses him. It's great. I love it. Yeah, it's gross, but it's fun. Also, there's something about the brains and how like slimy they look, which makes it even grosser. But I like it.
Good thing there wasn't any zombies on the scene.
No. Well, I mean, the characters kind of look like zombies to an extent.
What? You're not wrong. Especially Bobby Zilch.
Welcome to 100% hell, everybody.
Woo! Yeah, this can be... I didn't have issues with it, but I can see why why people could. There were some parts which were frustrating, and it was... This did take a while, but yeah. This is another reason...
This is like a monkey ball race, ain't it?
Kind of, minus the difficult part. But I can. This is another reason why I think people should just, especially for first-time playthroughs, just play through casually. If you want to go for the 100%, like 100% if you like it enough, because this game I feel like it takes a lot from you to like a lot of commitment to want 100% it at least. Because I'll go back to this game, but I don't know if I'll 100% it again really, because some of these figment stuffs are a little.
It's kind of like how you'd go and play a Dark Souls game your first time. You play through it like you normally would, you know, actually try at it, not care about trying to get as much as you can out of it, and then waiting until like the game plus before you would actually go and do that. Yeah. Before you try and start busting your balls on something.
Yeah, I could see that sort of what's it called? Comparison to an extent. I don't know if this is actually faster. I think it's not, but whatever.
I think it's actually slightly slower for me, you know? Which is really funny because it presents itself as a shortcut, but...
Yeah, Bobby Zilch is ahead of me. Okay, apparently this race is hard to beat. Because I was trying to just try hard beat it, but I'm still, like, almost losing. I won, but I almost lost.
I'm sorry, did they put emotional baggage up there?
No.
No, not here.
There's no.
They weren't that evil.
Here. Yeah.
What the hell did I just see then?
Probably just like a background effect or something. So I guess we can talk about Black Velvetopia now if we really want, since I think we all... Well, actually, I don't know if Em really said if he really liked Waterloo. Actually, no, he said he didn't really care for it.
I enjoyed, if you're talking about the very heavily Spanish influence stage...
No, that's Black Velvetopia. We're talking about the Waterloo stage, the French stage, the game stage. The tabletop game stage.
That I didn't care for.
Yeah, which is what you said. I thought you didn't at first, but then I was like, oh wait, never mind. Yeah, you did.
It's not just the bad stigma I have for tabletop games like that. It's not just that. It's just the way it was and how long it felt.
It is
and
probably
this is
one
a
of the longer
short
stages.
stage too.
The Waterloo stage?
It wasn't that long.
Well, I mean,
okay.
the
It's
map
long.
itself is
It's
long.
long to 100% it, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if we're
Well,
going to
yeah.
talk 100%, Figment's here. Oh boy.
In this stage?
Yeah, in Waterloo.
Oh, yeah. There's also it has a really cool one that's literally hidden in a place that you, like, would not...
Never check.
Yeah, that you would never check.
Here to explain where.
It's
just
behind...
off in a corner somewhere.
yeah, it's like, it's on behind a tree on the game board, like, outside of the main game section. So it's not really...
Seriously?
And it's the only one like that.
Yeah, it's literally the only one like that. And I explored the entire outer part thinking that there was gonna be multiple ones like that, but there ended up not. There's also an animal.
Also, too, like, this might just be a me issue, but the ones where you had to glide across, I had such a hard time getting those.
Yeah, no, I did too. I swear they weren't properly, like,
aligned
and made.
I had to do multiple tries. Most of the time, I would only get one, maybe two per glide. And I would just have to focus on those.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back.
Same
do it
thing
again.
that happened to me. M can't relate to that because he didn't 100% it, but yeah, that shit was really obnoxious. Also, somehow missed. What's it called? I missed a Figment in the snail section, and that was really annoying because that was the last one I missed, and I thought I grabbed them all, but apparently I didn't.
Was it one of the fruit Figments?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Those are the ones I can understand because you have to whack on those things for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much.
The fact that you talk to snails too. Okay.
I also love how they're like, well, let's go to battle! I am ready to fight! And then they just, they get eaten. And that's that.
I find it weird how the life system in this game functions.
The only game I can think of that's similar to, oddly enough, is the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's stocked based on your level. Then as soon as you finish your restart, well, that's it. You're back to that set number again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really bizarre. I almost feel like the life system's pointless.
It is.
It is.
Really is.
No, I was about to say I've never seen this, but I have. I'm not gonna say hi to them. They basically tell him to stop. Don't pay attention to him. I want to try to get to the Milkman conspiracy. Gosh dang it!
Don't forget about the bully scene with the Russian kid. That's important
Oh yeah.
because that's now.
Oh, I can't get that shit. But let's talk
should
about
be.
now. Let's talk
Oh.
about Black Velvetopia. Aesthetically, really cool.
Oh, sure.
But the fucking bowl can suck my left nut. Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Also, clairvoyance, everything in that level. It is so funny.
Oh yeah, the clairvoyance in that level is great. I love it from an my stomach just growled because I'm hungry. From an artistic standpoint, like, also really cool because it's one of those special levels where everything is special.
What the hell are you doing on that rock? Were you grinding on that rock, by the way?
Yeah,
It looks like you're just sliding.
I was sliding on it. Yeah,
Oh.
I wasn't grinding on it. I was sliding on it. You're right.
Sorry,
But
the collision detection was off-putting for me.
But yeah, this is what's it called? This is the Spanish level that we're talking about now, and yeah, this level artistically cool, but that's as much as I'll go. I think it really frustrated me like crazy. I like the boss too, actually.
I like the level enough. It's easily the most buggy level in the game, though.
It
got
is!
so many glitches on it.
Or am I the only one who would get hit by the stupid bowl? And sometimes
It
it
gets
would.
stuck in place.
Sometimes it would get me.
I had to save and reload so many times.
Either get me stuck in place, or sometimes I would get thrown. Like, he would push me back really far, and other times he would push me back like 3 inches forward, like to the next area. Because you know how he's supposed to push you back to the next area.
Well, I mean,
push
it
you back
depends
further,
on how
yeah,
you're
that
holding.
too.
Yeah, he kept pushing me back further, and after a while, there's one specific section I really wish I knew what it was offhand. I think it's like near the end, where it just gets worse. Like
around the it had to happen around the Queen of Diamonds. That was the third one.
Yeah, I think it's the third one. There's a it gets really bad. It sucks too because artistically it's such a cool level and stuff like that. He's literally a painter. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool level. I like the backstory for the stage,
which is is actually heartbreaking if you really think about it.
It is until the way end where he's like, "Wow, these guys are actually just losers."
Yeah,
really.
I think it's the only level that actually has a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bittersweet, but definitely happy.
And the Waterloo stage, because remember?
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, same with the Glorious. Literally everyone there except for Milkman. Debatably, actually, Milkman's happy end too.
I mean, after the ending cutscene, then he gets happy too because the Milkman is expelled from his body.
Doesn't he regain his sanity by the end of the game, though?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
As soon as the Milkman is expelled from him, he's a completely normal, insane person.
I am the Milkman. My milk is delicious.
Top quality meme.
So yeah, but other than the artistic point of the level and the boss, because I do like the boss. That's
it actually gives you a purpose for its DK, which was kind of pointless up until that point. Like the only other time I think I used that before then was Waterloo for the snails.
Which one?
The TK telekinesis, what you're doing now.
Oh yeah, water. Well, you have to use water. You have to do it in Waterloo for the tossing.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
what I was just saying for the snails. But other than that, it really wasn't that useful.
Unfortunately not. But yeah, if the bull didn't exist, and granted, if you're 100% level, just get through the level normally because the bull will stop appearing.
Really? At 100%ing?
No, after you beat the stage, the bull is
just after you beat the boss, because the boss is the bull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot. It technically has multiple bosses whenever you really think about it.
It does, which is cool.
Oh yeah, because it does have the fighters, and they're actually different despite looking the same, which is really nice. And again, clairvoyance, I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
It's great. The boss.
One of them sees you as a nerd, one of them sees you as a little deer.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry.
It is great though. I love that. I love this stage.
And that's where he steals Bobby. What's his face's victory dance, ain't it?
Well, he steals it from the beginning.
Waterloo,
yeah, he's technically in Waterloo. Technically in brain training, the brain basic brain.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the dance, but he steals it from.
He steals the sound.
I guess I didn't notice that.
Too bad it's
an idle animation.
I hate the fact that you have to fight this wrestler boss 4 times, but luckily it's for.
It is a different fight every time.
Yeah, and it is quick for the.
And it's actually interesting. Plus, this stage also has one of the most interesting psychokinetic powers. The confusion grenades.
I wish you got it earlier, because I would have probably used it earlier.
That would have been great too, because you get it too late.
Yeah. Also, I love when you throw it at the bull and he dances, because you have to do that. It's great.
Just stand back. I got glitched so many times. I know I mentioned that before, but the number of times I had to save and load because I got glitched into a T-pose.
What?
Well, that's never happened to me, but okay.
Yeah, that happened regularly. I assure you, if I load my game right now, I can make it happen. All you have to do is go out on the road, throw your concussion grenade, and if the bull is still running, and you're still out in the aisle, you will get T-posed and you'll be frozen in place. Guaranteed.
That's it for now.
That's crazy. Wow. Oof.
And you can't move, of course, either. That's why you have to restart.
Also, can we just talk about using bacon to
I love it
get
so
crawler? It's so good.
I need to reconnect back.
I mean, who doesn't
he will
like
tell
bacon?
you about every individual enemy in the game.
Yep. It's pretty good. He has funny little quips about him, too, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Crawler's a good guy. Crawler's a good character. This game is good writing. Full stop. And then, so I guess that's really all I can mention about Black Velvetopia, unless anyone else wants to mention anything. Cool level, cool artistically one of the most annoying for 100%.
Yeah, because it's another one too where figments are really annoying to find.
This one is.
There's some hidden areas that are really difficult to see too. And
yeah, because of all the black.
I think it's the
that.
worst. There's also just a lot of ones that literally just blend in.
Diego's room.
Yeah.
Also, why is the sewer like a high school hallway? Oh no! Wait, I know why. Okay,
because of the smell. The idea is basically that Raz is starting to kind of like mix his mind in with whatever his name is. The
Edgar.
Yeah, with Edgar. That's the basic gist.
Whenever Edgar fell in love with who he fell in love with, this was back in his high school years too. So
yeah. Well, yeah. That's
Wait, what are you doing? You didn't go talk to the bully.
Oh shoot! I can get out of here. It's all right.
I thought you were about to jump off.
And my name was yelled, which is always great. But let's move on to Asylum Tower, because this is the next part. The ambience there was really creepy and it was making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Also, that level frequently I felt like I was boundary breaking everything.
So
it did
did I.
not feel natural to do any of the stuff they had you doing.
So did I, but sometimes I'd fall off and I'd just do it the like normal way, and it was like okay.
All blood might drain out ear holes.
I love this scene so much. The deadly Nelson.
On the other hand,
No,
blood
the
from
half
constricted
Nelson.
tongue could rush to tongue.
And?
Tongue swells, pops. Most blood drains down.
Most blood drains down throat.
Oh god! Ew! Tongue swells, pop. Ew!
He's literally killing a bully. I love it.
Something less drastic?
Could use half
I love Mikal so much.
I could use half deadliness.
but less dying.
How much less?
Half.
Half?
Half less dying.
Only half. Only half.
Shut up, Benny.
Alright, thank you.
Well, you better go get your soup.
Not
And
yet.
I'll never bother you
Oh,
again.
okay.
Ever.
Okay, how about this?
Benny, you're never gonna bother
I'll
me again either way.
grab it. You guys take over and talk a little bit about Asylum Tower, because that is a long stage, actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah, really.
So you guys can talk a little bit about it. I'll just say right now, I do enjoy it. I think it's a really nice platforming level. So,
It does have a bit of flaws to it, I'll say that much.
does
Yeah.
too.
Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of spots that it feels like you're breaking the game.
I
Yeah,
do.
really.
I just want to mention too, I do like the fact that the higher you get in the tower, the crazier like the way it's constructed, the level gets. Like the higher you go, like things start getting like contorted and upside down and stuff like that.
Psychological.
I thought that was a cool part about it.
Which, whenever you really think about it, this game could have really thrown in some psychological horror elements into that.
I mean, it
already
kind
did.
of
It's almost like
yeah.
a missed. It's almost like they completely missed an opportunity. Almost.
So you guys can quickly just take the while you're away from the gamer game. Okay, thank you. So yeah, you guys can take my steed real quick. Just talk a little bit about Asylum.
I actually don't have a whole lot else to talk about the stage.
I don't care. I'll be back in like a second. It won't be long.
Okay, go get your soup. That until now, but
All right. What did I miss? What did we not talk about?
we were talking about the rats.
But Mayo, they spam the shit out of rats. They spam the hell out of them so bad. asylum to the point where you can die at any moment, though.
I don't think they hurt you. They just confuse you.
They hurt. They hurt.
And they take off a lot of health.
Well, at that point in the game, I had enough rank where I was getting the auto regeneration, so it didn't really matter.
I didn't have auto regeneration. What does that
I
mean?
didn't have it the first time.
It's like rank 90 or something.
Yeah, it's 90.
Really high.
Oh, God. Oh.
You're not getting that unless you've dropped off a bunch of the brains. You've done all the figments.
Yeah, you need to basically
scavenger
be
hunt.
actively 100%ing the game.
Because you can only be up to rank 97 by the time of the point of no return.
Yep. Which we're about to talk about next.
Okay.
Do you still have your old save? Because it might be a good time to load your old save at this point.
I should actually, yeah. I want to go see the milkman, but yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, you would still have to go through Lungfishopolis and...
Yeah, and I have to beat the boss and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna swap over it so we can talk about. And I'll have you know, I have this written in my notes very specifically. Let's now talk about what I dubbed in my notes: Meat fucking Circus.
Okay. Okay.
So
there was parts of the level I liked.
Who wants to
much.
go? Who wants to go first?
It's a level. It's disgusting, especially the bunnies.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. That is the most repulsive creature I've ever seen.
I get that's the point, but still,
The first half of the level
is an escort request.
Can actually fuck right off.
The second half isn't any better though. Oh.
Yeah, and you constantly have this phantasmal force following you.
I spent an hour, I think, not a joke, on the stupid escort section.
Oh, bitch, please! I spent 3. I think that's fine. So
okay, I don't want to be that guy, but Mayo isn't the greatest at games.
Well, gee, thanks, jerk.
That's why I said I don't want to be that guy. Well,
Mayo, just remember, this is the same guy that was having an absolute bitch fit about Ornstein and Smo.
Well, no, what I'm trying
to know that is.
What I'm trying to say is I had issues, but I'm a little bit better at games than you at the very least, so it wasn't that hard, but I still struggled immensely. It still took me an hour to get through the first part of the fucking level.
Stroke my ego, daddy.
Suck my ego? No! I'm saying it took me forever!
And you said you were trying to 100% the game, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, we both were.
I mean, if it is really that difficult, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that.
Well, the thing is... Oh, I have to beat the boss again anyways. Which is whatever. Hello?
Hello.
Y'all got quiet.
You sound like you want to say something.
look at all that health, too.
This boss is actually pretty cool. But, yeah, no, Meat Circus. Oh my god. That... I want to like it, but I don't like it.
I can't. There's just not much to like. The only part I kind of like is the grinding segment that you complained about earlier, funny enough.
Well, I only complained about the one... I like the grinding section, but there's an annoying issue where I could not... What's it called? I couldn't jump off the rail to get one of the figments, which hopefully I can get there in time, but honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be on the stupid escort part.
I wouldn't be surprised if you took, like...
The rest of the video, honestly. I'm probably going to be there for the rest of the video.
Because you already know what to do.
I know what to do for the escort part, but that's not what makes it fucking hard. The part that makes it fucking hard is some of the platforming and how fucking fast you have to be.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Most of the platforming I think was fine, but there's that one thing, you already know what it is, that takes so long.
It's the second Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, basically.
That's the part that kept screwing me over.
By the way...
Honestly, both the Wheel of Fortune suck.
The first one was easier for me. The thing about the second one is I literally could not fucking make that jump. I tried so many times and I just couldn't make it.
Out of curiosity,
and then you find out that you can intentionally die and it'll respawn you.
Yeah, that's the only way I beat it.
Wow.
I beat it by cheating, technically.
Oh no, I did too.
So great, fun, awesome, amazing, good level. God, fuck that level. Apparently...
And that's only the first half.
Apparently, the level was actually made easier.
I believe it.
Apparently it was harder in the original versions.
Okay, I have the tab open right now. I'm just going to open up Meat Circus and see if it says
because there's an achievement for beating the level called I Thought That Was Impossible. Apparently it's a reference on how difficult it originally was.
Hold it in.
And
oh yeah, this thing in right here.
Hello guys, it's me, Brain Man.
Now it just mentions that the difficulty was knocked down. It doesn't say how, but it says it was knocked down dramatically.
Yeah, so I don't want to even imagine how it was worse.
And they said specifically that the escort part was the bad part. So, oh boy!
Well, the only
thought it was bad.
The only other part that I thought was particularly bad in the level was the fucking acrobatic section after, on the way end. Can we end the video here? So I don't have to play?
You gotta show it.
So,
if you feel the need to.
Yeah, he's the evil guy. Also, yeah, there's the ghost. That annoys me. I don't know why it has to talk as much as it does.
Yeah, and it's a surprise twist when you find out who it really is.
Yep. And speaking of annoying voice lines, listening to this fucking kid in the escort section, Coach Oleander.
God, so whiny.
I'll take the kid over his dad in the section after it.
They're really bad.
We're at the beginning of this podcast talking about the annoying voice lines. That's the one I was talking about. His dad. That annoyed me so much. It got caught off so many times. Frequently repeating lines. If you have subtitles on, it will never go away.
Yep. It's the worst. This level is actual hell. I think from like a visual standpoint and how gross and stuff, and from a level standpoint even, it's cool. The thing that they fucked, I like how I got confusion ammo despite the fact I'm a high enough rank where it's infinite.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, from like a visual standpoint, yes, it's grotesque, yes, it's gross and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's cool, and I think platforming-wise, like, if you take out the bullshit, like, if the escort mission didn't exist, I think it's cool. Like, I think it works pretty well. And, I even for the, even for the, acrobatic section, I think it's pretty cool. But
I don't know that. I hated the acrobatic section almost as much, if not more, than the escort part.
They're both really bad. This was definitely the highlight in terms of how hard this was. Let's see if I can make the jump this time, because if I couldn't do it before, and it was awful. Also, I have no idea what this is, but it's fun to...
It's the fat lady singing.
It's fun to
You're at a circus.
It's fun to clairvoyance her.
I love this game.
But yeah, and that's honestly the biggest chunk about the game. Also, that's me. Look at me.
Oh. Okay.
I love clairvoyance. But yeah, other than that, we just really have like the final boss and stuff. I think the final bosses, they're easy, but I think they're cool for the most part.
You talked about the part with the acrobatic and going against Raz's dad, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well,
I had to brute force that the whole time. Because I had full health at that point.
Did either of you have any problems with the godforsaken cleaver?
The cleaver, no. I did have problems with that section, though.
I didn't have issues with the cleaver, but sometimes the cleaver would annoyingly not get stuck in the ground, I felt like. Because honestly, if you have shield, like,
No,
it
no,
neglects
not
it.
that.
Not that. He's not talking about the boss. He's talking
The
about
actual
the acrobatic
obstacle
section.
course.
Oh, I don't remember that section offhand. What
Here's
That part
the
was
thing.
horrible.
or that part on the acrobatic section. What is it?
Yeah, the acrobat. It's the one where the cleavers are spinning.
Oh, yeah. No, I
Constantly.
didn't have issues with that. I thought I was, but
No, I didn't. I had issues with that section, but I didn't have issues with that.
Yeah.
I had issues
I
with
used
it
the spot
because
directly before it.
the last cleaver, for some reason, its collision detection is
Also,
horrendous.
Wheel of Fortune. How are you gonna do today?
Yeah, that's good.
Also, it doesn't confuse on default. Because for me, it was confused on default. I was very confused for a while.
You might have accidentally hit it.
I didn't have confusion grenades equipped.
Oh, no, you might have hit it with like a shot.
But how? I didn't have them equipped.
I don't know then. Actually, good question.
That's part of what took me so long here. Because I was just standing around trying to figure out how to get him to move.
Okay, is this thing invincible? Okay. Where's the
You're
bunny?
shooting the kid.
Yeah, well, I have the thing where it bounces off. Where's the bunny? Oh. I love escort mission. When I saw this level was a fucking escort mission, I nearly cried. I thought it was gonna be the entire level too. Because yeah, escort missions are fun. And yeah, the acrobatic section sucks. And then of course there's only one grace period, and that's the what's it called?
That's the grind tunnel of
The
love.
grind, yeah, the tunnel of love.
And that's only like a minute anyway.
Yeah. So by the way, guys, if you're 100%ing this this section, you care about the figment care about these figments after the escort part.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to worry about the timer anymore.
Yeah. You also don't
You still have to worry about the Wheel of Fortune though.
Yep. And this is the jump that ended my entire career when playing it. Let's see if I can make it.
I had way more trouble with the first and the second one just because I didn't know what the confusion issue was. But this one can still be annoying.
Did I make it? Wow! I actually made it.
I don't think it's a necessarily hard jump, and again, even if you fail, you just respawn up there.
Sometimes. Sometimes I didn't respawn up there.
Oh, every time I did, I respawned.
I think when I actually beat this this section, the thing barely had the kid barely had any HP left. Mr. Young Oleander. This level, like, there's a lot of things that I actually like about this level, but there's so much that I just.
It's just there's good here, but
it hurts.
Yeah, there's good, but then there's bad. Let's see if I can get.
I'm still just kind of shocked that the original version was harder than this.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine what it was if it was harder. Like, I would rather.
Or actually, I almost wonder, like, if I should be watching this more closely, because I just remembered something too. Like, because unlike you two, I played on the PS4 version, which, like I said earlier, direct port of the PS2 version. So I should have technically had the original.
Yeah, I wonder. So then I wonder what the hard part was then.
Because it looked about the same to me.
Maybe the
they
kid
just
took
gave-
more
maybe they
damage. Who knows?
I want to say that they gave you more time, because I think when I had runs like that, I would have already been like 3/4 down.
Jesus. Ah, goodbye, world. Ugh, this stage is great. I hate it. Thanks, game. I hate it. But I guess yeah, we have really only the final boss, I guess, to talk about. Oh god. Also, yeah, that happens. Oh, look at it. Hey, guys.
Oh yeah, that's the most annoying thing of the whole thing. You land on platform below, and suddenly it thinks you're there now. Doesn't matter if you jump off, the game will just convince itself that you're there.
Yep. So I guess, yeah, the final boss is... We can talk about all three, because there's three, I think, technically, right?
Yeah, but two of them are basically the same.
Yeah, which are the last two, funny enough.
I was gonna say the first two. First two are the ones that are almost the same.
Well, overall, I do think they were pretty easy, though, for final bosses. I don't know, I was expecting harder.
Yeah, but like the third one was really easy, just because you get that power up and...
It's literally just a matter of
triple
dodging.
Yeah, like, at that point, it's basically supersonic. Just without the flying.
Yeah, well, you have to wait, too. See if I
yeah.
can make this.
Do you mean Rasputinzilla?
Okay, I made it. Thank God.
Yeah, that's a fair title too.
They were okay, I guess. I do like how your dad comes back though, or comes to, because there's a big thing, you know, that he thinks his dad hates him or whatever, even though he's like, I think my dad's a psychic, but the entire time his dad's like, nah man, I love you. But it's really weird how that's portrayed, because Rasputin makes it feel like his dad is like an actual just shithead.
I mean, I guess he is 10.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, actually, I can relate to Rasputin on that quite well, oddly enough. Because my way of thinking has a tendency to be that way.
I'm sorry, I didn't know your dad treated you like that.
No.
I didn't know you looked at your dad like a zombie.
No, I don't mean just... I don't mean it specifically for one person. It's just practically anyone. Which is awful to say, yes, but I mean it out of honesty, not malice.
Could see what you say, but yeah, no, this it's so conflicting. See, there's a lot of things that are really conflicting. I want to like a lot of things, but I want to just like
fun parts of this stage, the grind rail.
Yes, this is the only part.
This was bullshit.
Oh, you don't like this part?
I had trouble with it.
I didn't have any. I got through the whole thing first try.
Okay, let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get it.
Grind rails.
Okay, I got
this
it.
Game
wow. Okay.
Horrendous.
That's not hard at all.
Thank you, streaming / fucking LP luck or whatever for working in my favor. If you go really fast here, you can actually like not.
Oh yeah,
have
you don't
to
even have to jump.
Oh, or never mind.
You miss Figments though.
You're pulling some Donkey Kong Country level bullshit here.
I didn't really have too many issues with this part personally. Except I can never dodge that whenever I die. I always get hit.
But
it's okay though, because I regen.
Whatever, who cares?
I really like the aesthetics of this. I think aesthetically, even though this level's gross, I think it has like, it's like.
I wouldn't put it up there with Milkman or Lungfishopolis, but.
Well, I think Lungfishopolis aesthetically is kind of boring. I think it's just like the idea in the story and stuff behind it is what makes Lungfishopolis so cool. Well, to me, it's just like a city. It's just like what it's referencing, aka Godzilla. Fuck me. But I don't know. I don't know. This stage, I want to like it, but there's so many things I hate about it.
Now that I think about it, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just pulling hairs out of thin air. This seems to have like a Lovecraftian inspiration to it.
I mean,
not
really.
In a sense.
Lovecraftian's cosmic horror, like things that you can't comprehend, understand.
Well,
I don't
I understand that, but I don't mean it in that sense.
Then it's not Lovecraftian horror.
Okay, let me explain this. Where it's as if it's fusing with one thing and another.
That's
entirely.
that's body horror.
Completely twisted.
That's body horror.
Okay, apparently I didn't know the definition.
Yeah, when it's like...
So by that technicality, this is body horror, then.
Oh yeah, no, this is. Like, the entire last section is like body horror and stuff. Like the boss and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so let's like close off this video, I guess. I want to know what everybody's closing thoughts of the game was as a whole. Let's start with Mayo, because you revisited the game. I'm technically beat it. Final.
Yeah, I haven't made it a secret. I really like this game, even if I do have some very noticeable gripes, especially with the Figments.
Yeah, 100%ing this game. I'll just say that's lost until time.
Yeah, I'm not really a ranking person. I would absolutely recommend people at least look at it. Just only 100% it if you're really determined, because at that point, there's not really any stopping you. That's all I have for it.
Alright, what about you, EmeraldMasterPixed?
Worth playing again at a later point. Would recommend it if you're into Collect-a-thons.
It's funny because it's more of a linear than Collect-a-thon, but I get it.
Well, I mean, it's reliant on the semi...
Oh, I get it. It's just I find it funny is all.
So, would you rate it out of 10? I'm trying to get that involved in this podcasty thing. If ratings, it doesn't have to be out of 10. It could be your own rating. It could be out of 100. It could be like F through A.
Or oleanders out of Milkman.
Okay, that's you. I am the Milkman.
Rating. What? Rating 8 milks out of 10 brains.
Apparently. So what
that is my rating. Nobody will
you...
ever know my opinions because what's a milkman and what's an oleander?
So what would you rate it then? If you want to, of course you don't have to. I'm going to be the one who's always going to rate it. But...
I would put it at a rough 7, definitely. I could see myself playing it again in the future. It's just it's not one of those kinds of games that I would absolutely play. Just out of, I just want to play this like right now. Or, well, I mean, I would play it at that point. It's just I wouldn't play it just casually again.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I would have to have the genuine desire to actually play it again.
But it's something that you could see yourself coming back to still to play it.
Definitely.
And to 100%, I would
Which,
assume.
I mean, how convenient. There's a sequel supposedly coming out this year, so...
Now, 100%ing this, I really doubt it, considering already the complaints that I'm hearing.
Like, do it if you really want to.
Yeah, I think
come prepared.
I think you going through the game casually first was it's probably the better idea. I'm a completionist at heart. Okay, so I had to do it.
I warned you.
I'm very aware of that.
So alright, so what did you rate it out of 10? Actually, I don't. Oh, yeah, 7 out of 10.
He said 7.
7 of 10.
So I'm really conflicted personally, actually, on a lot of things. I love the writing a lot. Like, it is so much fun. All the writing.
I swear, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I swear in this bit, Rasputin gets beheaded and just lobbed into another room. Because that's what I swore is what happened.
You die in the dream, you die in real life.
In this game, in this game,
you die in the dream, you just get booted back to the real world. They established that, actually.
But anyway, what were you saying before I interrupted? Sorry.
So, there's a lot of things I like. So I love the writing. I love the character designs and all that sort of stuff. I love the Milkman. I love the humor. Some of the stages are really, really cool. Like, I really like the Milkman conspiracy. It's just so funny and so witty, and it's just fun. Clairvoyance is awesome. I wish that they gave me more uses out of my abilities. I feel like I strictly was using the shoot ability in not clairvoyance. Oh yes, clairvoyance, but that was just that I wanted to see what was going on, how people thought of you. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's kind of a complaint I had too. I never really had a chance to get to. Sorry for interrupting you, but the fact that you only have 3 slots and 2 of them are basically always going to be dedicated.
Yeah.
It's kind of got the Zelda. Granted, there is a workaround for levitation, which I found out way too late in the game. But
there is?
Yeah, hover and hit the jump button. You'll automatically bring out levitate. Doesn't matter if you have it.
What?
Yeah.
I just did it. What?
Yeah, you don't have to have it on your menu.
If I knew that! Oh my god, if I knew that.
So,
what was that?
If you jump and press the hover button, like if you press the hover button and you press X, or the equivalent to that, you get your fucking levitation ability back.
Yeah, it took me way too long to figure that out. They don't tell you that at all.
Yeah, wow.
I only found out by complete
didn't even know it myself.
Yeah, literally you saying that. If I knew, okay, so I take that back. Basically, one of your things is gonna be always covered. I feel like then.
There is still a few cases where I think you need to have it on, just because it's really difficult to jump with that.
Fair enough. I could take that. Well, kind of. More like the landing. More like the landing could screw you over.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, in this part of the game, for me, 100%ing the game, I tanked most of the father shots because I was just like, fuck it, I could heal it, I don't care.
And even if you die, like, whatever, you have so many chances.
This is where the lives are pointless, because I don't think you'll ever lose lives. But yeah, no, there's like I think there's like not enough use for most of the psychic abilities, which sucks because I think the psychic abilities are like one of the coolest parts about the game, and they use it a lot in later levels, which is why I like the Milkman conspiracy and stuff. But of course, there's all the writing and stuff. But sometimes there's just a lot of tedium, especially for a first-time playthrough. I feel like this is a game that's better on further playthroughs once you have a better idea of what's going on and what you're gonna be getting away with. Also, fuck this part right here.
Oh, yeah. I had so many problems here.
But
I'm surprised you made that. It looks like you should have missed.
I know. But like again, there's some cool level stuff, and I feel like there's like a middle portion of the game missing, kind of in terms of like story. The story isn't the biggest thing. It just kind of feels weird and kind of rushed to an extent.
Which I mean, it is rushed.
Whoa! That HP drop.
But yeah, I would say probably, though, a solid 7 out of 10 still, because I do enjoy the game for the most part, and I feel like a lot of things that I complain about are really minor. Of course, they add up over time, but the thing is, like, I still enjoyed my experience. Like, I still had a lot of fun for the most part. I really loved sticking around, if anything, just for the writing. And if a game will keep me interested strictly for the writing, I think it's at least succeeded at something. And I think the gameplay is like, for the most part, it's just average, and you can kind of tell. It's kind of like the Tim Schafer's, I guess I want to say Tim Schafer's first attempt at this sort of thing, because I think it was. But I think for the most part it works. I think it's actually, because this is the first time playing it, I think it's aged pretty well for the most part. I think a lot of that has to do with the writing, though. So yeah, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think everyone should try it. But if you're going to ever play this game, 100% just go through it casually the first time through, and if you enjoyed enough, then try to go for the 100%, because the 100% can be a bit rough, because there were many times where I wanted to not do it, but I just decided.
I'm really surprised that this section, you're actually having spots for the head avatar for the subtitles is going away. I never had that happen. You would just non-stop talk.
Okay, see, there's one of those moments where I told you I would try to jump in and I would...
This is the area I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I want to see
I had issues on that area just before it with all the hoops. Because you would always throw stuff at me, and the second you get hit, you lose your bubble and die, but you can't dodge it because there's just not enough height. And for whatever reason, you won't grab the edge. It was annoying. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, this part at the way end was the hard part. I agree. But anyways, so that's really it. I think overall we enjoy it. We implore people go do it. If not just for the writing, you could just watch a video on YouTube. Honestly, I don't think that's doing it enough justice. How am I gonna do this? But yeah, I would definitely. I think people should play the game. It's worth it. So yeah, that is this episode of the Romper Crew, but what is the next game we're playing for next month? Because apparently, according to Mayo, this is a game he says he hasn't actually played.
Yep, I have not. And also, one other thing before I mention that, I just feel like I need to say this because it's really weird. In the credits for the game, it credits Ted Price, and I was very confused by that.
Interesting.
If you know who that is, Ted Price is CEO of Insomniac Games. This is very surprising.
It's weird, but okay.
Like, he's in the credits. I don't know what he's doing there, but...
Okay.
Was it like a special thanks?
I don't think so. I didn't see what it was, though, so it could have been.
Interesting. So, alright, Mayo, what is the next game we're playing
next month we will be going through Klonoa.
Klonoa?
Yep, we're doing another obscure platformer.
God, I've been meaning to get around.
Name again? I'm sorry. Name again? What?
Klonoa.
Run through Klonoa, PS1 game.
I've never played this before, and I've wanted to.
Is the full name.
I've wanted to play it, but I've never played it, and I've only heard good about it. Just like this game. So.
Yep. So. I thought it was
2.5D platformer, right?
Yeah, I believe
That's
so.
really that I know about it.
Also, like the two games that Yogi picked, this one actually has a remake. So.
It does.
Yep, there's a Wii version that's just called... But that was just called Klonoa, so... I've also heard that one's not quite as good. So.
Interesting. I'll probably play the PS1 version. I don't know if there's any.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the PS1 version. If I have time, I'll get the Wii one because that's the remake system. But
This is gonna be interesting, huh? And then just a friendly reminder for everyone else. After we do Klonoa, we're gonna be for next month. After next month in July, we're gonna be doing Crash Nitro Fueled. EmeraldMasterPixed over here is gonna be playing Nitro Kart. I'm like, actually, is it coming out on PC?
nope, it's only consoles for now.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a PC version at some point, but it won't really matter for us by then.
Yeah, well, he'll be playing just normal CTR then, which is fine because I'd probably play through Nitro Kart also.
It's gonna be really awkward because the two of us are gonna clearly have things that are exclusive to Nitro Fueled, like costumes and shit.
I don't think I'm gonna care enough to mention those, but that's just me.
Surely it won't be big enough to be classed as a sacrifice.
It's it's just a remake of a game where I don't think... Like, for example, if we were jumping between the Insane Trilogy and the other games, only thing I would ever note differently is, like, Control. Because there's barely anything new added or whatever.
Sorry, graphics, you weren't good enough.
Well, and graphics, yeah, but even then, somebody could, like, M could just look at a video and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see these graphic changes. Or when I inevitably stream it, he can comment on how things look. But yeah, see you guys next month where we play Klonoa. This will be another interesting month. Why are you getting all the interesting months? Stop it. This is my podcast. Get out of here. Leave!
You're the one that makes the boring games.
Oh, speaking of which, I just want to say, it's been raining today, and all I can think about is my opening to my Ape Escape review video. Ironic review video.
Did it scar you that bad?
It didn't scar me, I'm just thinking about how funny it was.
I thought you were going a completely different route than what you did. I genuinely did.
I had to get it in the rain.
Right, but do we have anything else to add for the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Go subscribe to all of our stuff. Go check out Yoga Doctor. Go look at my Twitter. Actually, don't do that.
On Yoga Doctor, we're gonna have a full Let's Play of Psychonauts very soon.
Yeah. So if you wanna watch this game, don't want to play it. I would assume probably within a month we will be probably playing through the game.
It's probably gonna be the next game I do once I finish something, and both of my games are decently close to being finished at this point. So
if you guys want to see a Let's Play of us playing Psychonauts, M won't be there because he's not on a part of our channel. Sorry, bitch.
yeah.
I'm joking.
Rude.
Yeah,
But-
we had very different interpretations of that.
But yeah, if you guys want to see me and Mayo go through that at the very least, we'll hopefully see you then when that comes around. So thank you all for watching. Romper is not here, unfortunately. He was hanging out with my sick stepdad. So, yeah. I'll let this cutscene play out just because it's big Raz.
It looks even lower res on PC. Because that's something that I noticed too.
But,
During that transformation cutscene, that Raz looks like he's like 4 pixels.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next year. And I'll just do this one last time just so everyone can see it. For people
You have the
watching
picture on
visually
OBS, like
still.
the actual in-game picture, not the background.
I don't,
Oh, this
shame.
abomination.
unfortunately. But
There's nothing abominable about this.
yeah, this is
Even-
amazing. See you all next month with Klonoa. Goodbye. Say your byes, everyone. Bye-bye.
Farewell, everyone. All toast is toast toast.
Later. And maybe we'll have more trashy art for you to enjoy.
See you all
We'll have a masterpiece for you.
next month with the Romper Crew Klonoa edition. Goodbye.